Question. How do we call? He gave us a signal.
What up, Gotham Guardians and Arkham Adversaries? It is your boy Trey of the Bat Channel. We are live once again from the Batcave. But as always, I have to bring in the best co-hosts I could ever ask for. You know him as Super Bro. Hold on to your butts, Corey.
What's up, Trey? How we doing today, bud?
How you doing, bud? How's the moving situation going?
Yeah, going good, man. Enjoying it up here. Still in the hotel right now, and should be finalizing on the place this Friday. So exciting stuff. But yeah, man, it's been pretty crazy. How's things going down there?
It's going well. I mean, we're excited to see you this weekend. Obviously, we're going to be doing our Kenobi review as always. But right after, literally, you're going to be driving up real quick from Colorado to help you move. So it's gonna be, and then we'll do still a dual show.
It's still
because the grind never ends, ladies and gentlemen. If anyone who knows all about the grind, because she watches me go nuts every day working my ass off. It is the one and only Wonder Wife.
Oh shit.
What up, Wonder Wife? How's it going, baby?
What's up,
Sara?
Sara?
What up? It's going, just hanging out here in the living room.
Yeah, right, I know. We're always so silly, but to help run the show, because obviously Corey is not in his...
You're
What's that, Corey? Oh, I think, Corey, because he's not in his office, he's in a hotel room. His Wi-Fi is a little bit iffy, so you might notice Corey answer a question 5 seconds later. So we'll just make it work. Corey, say now. So he's at a 10-second delay.
No, it's breaking up on me. Pretty good.
Well,
we'll see how it goes. If I keep breaking up, I may take off or punch the show from being off of it.
Okay, well, we'll make it work. We'll just have a good time. Maybe, Corey, I don't know if it'll help, but maybe you could even take off the camera so it's just your profile talking. I don't know if that'll help, with the lagging, but either way, we'll make it work. Today Corey's having the tech issue, but I see a lot of people in the chat. Corey, who all do we got tonight? He's probably gonna answer in 10 seconds.
Yeah, so if you hear me right away. Yeah, we got Bat Fanatic, we got Oracle's Clock Tower, Trevor H, Restore the Snyderverse Guy, The Butler, Red Hooded Outlaw, Retro Nerd Girl, Derpy Gaming in the house, Yellow Devils in the house. I saw a few more of the Nicotina show.
What up, Nicotina? Good
Retro
to see
Nerd
Nicotina.
Girl, Trevor. I think I said Trevor H. Am I coming in a little bit better now that I switched off of the camera tray?
I think so. Yeah. I think it's coming up good.
Okay, and we got Skywalker in the house too.
Skywalker the Jedi. He is going to be joining us a little later, folks. We're going to kind of get through the meat and potatoes, and then we may actually start talking about the ratings and like what we think of the film. Then we'll bring in Skywalker the Jedi. So stay tuned for that. The big man's coming in soon. But we got a lot to talk about. So I'm excited personally because, as you guys always known, I'm a huge Jurassic World nut. Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, it's like my all-time favorite film. If you guys follow us on Instagram, we now have a TikTok, FYI, starting to do some things on there. Just kind of, I figured I gotta be, successful. You gotta do the hard stuff like TikTok. So you can follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter at _bat channel. Definitely give us a follow on there. We're doing some cool stuff. We're gonna have fun on TikTok. I think TikTok is gonna be kind of my silly place where I'm gonna do a little more comedic things that you used to seeing the Bat channel do, especially with our pre-recorded vids. But it's gonna be a good time. It's good seeing everyone here for our Jurassic World Dominion spoiler review this time. So if you haven't seen the film, we'll do our spoiler in just a moment. But Corey, can you pull up our slide, please, sir? Hopefully, is he still delayed? Corey, say now. I feel like this is sweet, sweet vengeance. What?
Yeah.
I'll bring it up, Corey.
Good call.
It's good vengeance right now, because.
And Troy, I would say that your Jurassic Park nut is a vast understatement.
Yeah, it is really, but it's part of the fun of it, right? That's why you love me, because I'm a dynamite nut.
You're a passionate person. That is one of the reasons I love you. Yes.
Corey, here's what I'll have you do. I'm gonna really focus on the slides and stuff like that. If you can kind of bring up the comments of all of our audience members who are watching out there tonight, that'll be your duty, as I know you're lagging quite a bit here, but no worries.
If you just said that statement, I'm kind of going in and out of being on par, and then it glitches out every now and then. So if I responded to you in a reasonable time, that's a good sign.
Oh, cool. Sounds good to me. But anyways, as always, guys, it helps us out so much when you smash that like, you share this video, get all your friends in the live chat, because the more people we have in the chat, the more fun our discussion is going to be, because we like to have discussions with you guys. We like to talk about Jurassic World Dominion and hear your feedback on it. Like, we just don't like talking at you the entire time. So if you have questions, super chat goes a long way to helping us as well, because the money goes right back into our show with getting better equipment like cameras, internet. Hopefully eventually.
Our internet's a nice lady.
Don't talk about the internet like you want to jinx it right now. Right now we're nailing it, so don't jinx it. But yes, it goes right back into our show, goes back into our subscriptions to things like StreamYard, so that way we can do stuff like that. But it's gonna be a good time nonetheless. So share this video, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. And yeah, thanks. And we always like to say thank you with our super chats, because we know every dollar means something to you guys, so we appreciate it. I appreciate it. As always, Saturday, guys, we have been doing some really damn cool Saturday breakdowns with different TV series. We first started with Halo, the series on Paramount Plus. That one was a grind to get through, but Obi-Wan Kenobi has been of a nice breath of fresh air. It's been really good. I mean, some criticisms here and there, but overall, I'm really enjoying it. And it seems like most of our audience is enjoying it as well. Bat Dan coming in with that "somebody save me." Damn you, Bat Dan. You troll. You need to start changing that hashtag hope for Ezra, because that's not looking so good right now, buddy. Yell Devil says, cancel the Bat channel, restore the super channel, justice for the bro of steel. No. I'll get that kryptonite. That's what I did tonight. I showed Corey a lesson, But yeah, this Saturday at 12 p.m. That tells you how delayed Corey is.
Yep.
Yeah. At Saturday, 12 p.m. Eastern, we are going to be doing our episode 5 Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi breakdown with our hashtag Delta Squad. We are going to have me, Super Bro Corey, the Savage Bat himself, and Mr. Orkin Beans 14. If you guys have not subscribed to our channel or watched our Star Wars breakdown videos, do it. Just do it, Lord Vader. If you don't do it, I will be upset. And then I will thank you. And then we'll find, get Samuel L. Jackson with his one arm to just, beat you up with his purple lightsaber.
Yep.
I think that'll be fun. And plus, for the craziness that's going to be on Saturday, all the hard work we're going to be doing, and then rush into Cheyenne to help Corey move.
Yep, I'm gonna have the car gassed and ready. It's pretty much gonna be okay. You're done. Jump in the car. Let's go.
It's literally gonna be that. It's gonna be like, guys, I had a great time with you. Now I gotta go, boom, and into the car, and then do Sil Abdul show later with hashtag Force Sensitive. It's gonna be just a damn good time all around because hey, the grind never ends at YouTube with the Bat Channel. But guys, I don't know if you've heard, Jurassic World Evolution 2. Dominion Biosyn expansion is out now. If you don't have this video game, it's a park builder. I enjoy it. I wish we kind of got a bit more story mode and, something that we could do maybe a little bit first person or even third person really with Jurassic World. And hopefully they're creating the game like that eventually. But overall, Jurassic World Evolution is a damn good time, especially with how it incorporates into the movie. If you played the video games, you would know that they definitely had a lot in there, like the Dinosaur Wildlife Protection Group, like that was all a part of Jurassic World Evolution as well. And kind of even how they set up some of those outdoor cages, that was very much reminiscent of Jurassic World Evolution, the video game. So I highly recommend it. I'm excited for Dominion Biosyn expansion. I haven't purchased it yet because I've been working on our shows and at work, my daytime job. But I'll probably purchase it later tonight, and I'm going to be going hardcore for a little bit because why not? So definitely check that out if you guys haven't already. Jurassic Park. Sorry, honey, you're going to hate me because I'll be playing video games.
Hey, I like watching you play those games.
I'll take that. That's very nice of you. You're a good wife.
Yeah,
I can tell.
Yeah. Just remember that.
Yo.
The Savage Bat. He is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. He's gonna be joining us Saturday for our hashtag Delta Squad Obi-Wan Kenobi episode 5 breakdown. You guys, if you have not subscribed to the Savage Bat, stop wasting your time. Just freaking do it because he's the motherfucking Batman. Just do it. He's the best.
We love you too, Sky.
Love you too, man. Sky, I can't wait to have you on the show later. It's gonna be a damn good time. Corey, say now, now. Oh, see, Corey's back. He's with us. He's in it. Okay, cool. My man Ryan Swayze, Mr. Orkin Beans 14 himself. Brother, I'm gonna make you a cool little intro because I know we got a cool one for Savage Bat. We'll get you. I got something planned for you. I hope you enjoy it. Hopefully you're not like, oh my god, Trey,
where's my fucking sign in or
your sign in is Smallville. That's what you get.
That's what you're gonna give me every time. You'll be like, all right, we're calling in Corey.
Yep, that's it. That's what I'm getting. You're Mr. Smallville. You and freaking Batman. That's what you get, sir. Somebody save you. Guys, are you ready to begin our spoiler review of the epic conclusion of the Jurassic era?
I'm super excited because the last show I hate. Me, I hate being vague. Now we can get into the nitty gritty.
We can get in the pork and beans,
Get into the pork and beans.
Corey, please cue the spoiler warning.
Hold on to your butts.
It's not just a signal. It's a warning.
I thought they both worked.
I dig that. Hold on to your butts. Spoiler alert. Guys, so if you have not seen Jurassic World Dominion, this is it for you. Here we go. The cast, as we kind of talked about before, but now we can actually go into depth with these guys. Sara, with the cast, let's start with the legacy cast and then the new cast. And then let's talk about Henry Wu and Lewis Dotson.
Okay, so legacy cast did a great job as always. I do feel like, we talked about it last show with the non-spoilers that Alan Grant didn't really serve a purpose. I mean, there was few things that I noticed the second time we watched the movie that he did serve a little bit of a purpose, but I felt like he needed more. Like he needed more of a story in the movie.
So that's actually a very interesting point, Sarah. Would you say that Sarah and I have seen it twice now? The first time I was a little taken back. I was a little underwhelmed. It wasn't quite what I thought it was going to be. And that's my fault. I expected a masterpiece, epic, like truly epic conclusion. I built up in my mind what this film was going to be, and it was something else. And like I said, that's my fault for making already pre-ideas and theories that like this is what's going to happen. Fault. It is my fault, watching it the second time, did you enjoy it more, or did you find more issues of why you don't like? We liked the film before anyone's like, oh my god, you guys are part of the haters. We're not. I still like, I'm a Jurassic Park nut. To me, like no Jurassic Park film can do wrong. For me though, it just wasn't a 9.5 and up film.
Right.
Did you enjoy it the second time?
Yes. I mean, like I'm kind of the opposite of you. Like you go to the movie the first time and you analyze the movie. And then the second time you go and you just watch the movie for enjoyment. I'm the opposite way, where the first time I go for the enjoyment. Then I can analyze it after the fact. And so I think this movie, I saw more plot holes and issues that I had the first time, but I also saw other things that kind of explained some issues that I had the first time as well.
Interesting. Okay. So in terms of looking at the cast, you said how you felt like the first time you watched it, Alan Grant's character in particular, that he was just he was just there because we have to have Alan Grant in this film because it's to honor the past,
right. Like everybody was expecting
films.
Alan Grant to be there. Mm-hmm. If he wasn't there, I think everybody would be super pissed.
But the second time watching it, you saw a little more purpose.
A little bit, yes. But I also saw where some people would say that he didn't really serve a purpose other than he was just kind of there. Okay. But no, I do think he served a little bit of a purpose, especially towards the end of the movie when you got to see him triangulate with Beta. With the live raptor, and he's such a big like raptor nut, and so that was cool. I really dug that. Yeah. I do think that was an added part that I didn't really take advantage.
Part of me thought that was a missed opportunity because, as we all know from Jurassic Park 3, he has the Velociraptor resonating chamber, and I would have liked to have seen him use that again because it really like. While Jurassic Park 3 was by no sense a perfect film, I really enjoyed that element of it, that Alan Grant was essentially the first human before Owen Grady to communicate with velociraptors.
Right. I feel like that was one of those things where, the director or the prop set people didn't think about it, or they thought about it and were like, well, nobody knows where it is, and it was too expensive to make another one. So I guess we're just gonna not worry about it.
Which is kind of funny because, like, even in Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous season 1, episode 1, they use it as an Easter egg to win the video game that gets Darius to Isla Nublar, for the Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous.
Right.
So I was surprised that it's kind of, important in that. But like this, it was kind of just a nice little reference to Jurassic Park 3. But I mean, it was still great. But our boy Trevor H coming in with a $10 super chat saying, seeing the legacy cast was amazing. Tears of joy. I agree. Seeing the legacy cast again, that made me happy all in itself. It was just wonderful to see Jeff Goldblum, Sam Neill, Laura Dern, and even BD Wong return for Henry Wu, even though he's been in the entire Jurassic World franchise, to see them all together was really, really cool. But Trevor H, thank you so much, bro. What's that?
My man, Trevor H.
He's always coming in hot. So Trevor H, this is for you, sir. Seeing how you're a big legacy fan. Here you go.
We just dug up a new skeleton.
I could compensate you by
hopefully
funding your dig.
I think I'm now having
very unusual
connection issues.
For over 3 years.
And before you even knew what you had, you patented it and packaged it and slapped it on a plastic lunchbox, and now you're selling it. You want to sell it. Well,
You got a double one there.
Yeah, he did. I think Bubba. So Corey, are we still kind of lagging to where, or are you about on with us?
I'm about on with you guys.
Oh, okay, cool. Then in that case, I'll let. I was worried that you were still delayed, so I started doing it, on my own kind of thing. But we'll continue on. And thank you so much, Trevor H. I appreciate it, bud. Means a lot. As always, with your $10 super chat. Thank you, sir. Corey, you saw it yesterday.
Yes, I did.
What was it like seeing the Legacy cast again?
It was great, man. I truly enjoyed it. Seeing them come in at different times was interesting. Seeing what they were up to over the years was great as well. Obviously, you get chills with certain people, but obviously when you see Dr. Grant show up, it just always brings a smile to your face. So he's I think yours as well. Our favorite characters of the group. I have always my favorite after seeing the 1993 Jurassic Park. Since then, my favorite dinosaur has always been the Velociraptor. So, all right, Yellow Devil is right. I actually saw Top Gun again.
I would not be surprised.
I can't tell you how close I was to seeing that instead, Yellow Devil.
That would have been hurtful, big fella.
I do think we need to see Top Gun again this weekend. Just saying.
Oh my God. Well, I still got to take Dad to see Jurassic World Dominion.
We can see it at the movie theater. It's super small. It's super intimate, and it'd be great. So, no, I think it was fantastic seeing everybody again. I think they did a great job as well. So,
out of curiosity, Corey, you who have seen Spider-Man No Way Home, and you saw it a couple of times because you really liked it. Do you think Jurassic World Dominion hit the same impactful moment with the Legacy cast that Spider-Man No Way Home was able to achieve with Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield?
I think overall, yes. I think the one thing that No Way Home had going for them is that Tom Holland's Parker was in need, and they were kind of to the rescue type thing. So it had that feel-good moment there.
Yeah.
Where I was kind of surprised how quickly they brought in the Legacy cast, which worked for me in the sense of now I get to see them the entire movie. So so it's kind of hard to say was as special as No Way Home, because No Way Home saved it for a really dramatic moment, where this allowed the characters to be in at the end, almost the entire movie, and kind of have, two plots going on at the same time.
At the same time. Yeah. And then with the Legacy, the Jurassic World cast, how did you like them and kind of their growth throughout their entire trilogy? Let's start with Sarah again.
I think, the person who grew the most throughout the whole trilogy was Claire.
I completely agree with you.
Like,
I think she had tremendous growth.
Yeah, I didn't think I realized how much growth until we watched all the movies again last weekend when we saw all of them, and then we went to go see Dominion on Monday. So like you see her from the very beginning, where she's kind of like uninterested in her nephews and like being around people or kids or anything, and just kind of focused on being the professional. And now you see her like totally roughing it with Chris Pratt character. Yeah,
absolutely. How about you, Super Bro Corey? What did you think of the Jurassic World cast?
I thought they did a fantastic job as well. So I think the great thing about Chris Pratt's character is it continued my love for the Velociraptor as a dinosaur as a whole. So his relationship with Blue, as well as any of the other Velociraptors, was always something special for me in the Jurassic World series. I do agree with you guys that she may have had a little bit of a more growth as far as the trilogy goes, because Chris Pratt's character is constantly just tossing his hand up, and I'm surprised with how often he's thrown his hand up, especially after seeing in Jurassic World 1 that that doesn't work out too well for his pal. So
Oh yeah.
yeah.
The one guy who is working heavily with InGen.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, that's a funny point, Corey. Yeah, I mean, he really hasn't grown throughout the entire films, other than, I mean, there was that moment in Fallen Kingdom where he was okay to let Blue die, but in this, he's very much, reconnected with Blue and is going to go out of his way to do anything for her, really.
I thought it was also interesting, though, that his connection with Blue was still a little rocky in some ways, though, too, because obviously Blue was frustrated that somebody disappeared, and actually took a slash at him, which I was surprised to see.
Yeah.
But he even said, like, when they first met up with Blue, that oh no, they definitely want to eat you, like.
Well, it's that mutual respect thing. Like, he doesn't forget a velociraptor is a freaking velociraptor. But not only that, it goes back to that, like, this Blue is an animal, but more importantly, she's an intelligent animal, and now she's a mother, which makes her more protective,
I would say even more dangerous.
Yes, even more dangerous, right? And what I love about that is, one, it continues what we know about dinosaurs, and especially what paleontologist Dr. Jack Horner, who Alan Grant's character was based on, they continued his research and his theories about, dinosaurs actually being good parents. The Myosaurus was one of the dinosaurs he discovered in Montana, and very much reminiscence and proof. It literally means good mother lizard, so to continue that story with now Blue as a character was very cool to see, as they're still kind of trying to be, I mean, obviously it's Hollywood. Not everything is completely scientific accurate, but this film definitely nailed some scientific accuracies in some ways that were really cool that we haven't seen Jurassic Park or Jurassic World do before. Now let's talk about some controversial things here real quick. So the character, Kayla, I'm spacing her last name, Sarah.
Watts.
Do you know? Kayla Watts, who is played by DeWanda Wise. A lot of people criticize that this character was too woke, and that she was an unnecessary addition to the franchise. Corey, what's your thoughts on that?
Hey, you're starting off with me, huh?
Well, Sarah and I kind of talked about it last week, so.
Yeah, I would say
you can be honest.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about it. It's a good question. Did I need her in the movie? No.
Okay.
Did I think she played an interesting part of it all? Sure. I don't know if she needed to be in there as much as the main cast, but I did. By the end of the movie, I didn't hate her by any means. Like I think when you come to this movie, I think for me specifically, I came for Jurassic Park characters and Jurassic World characters, and that's really all I cared about. And
so adding a new additional character is kind of like, was it needed? There's already so much going on.
Yeah, I don't know if it was necessarily needed. It's fine with how they handled it, but yeah.
So you feel in no ways that she was a woke character?
Well, obviously this is Hollywood. They, if I recall correctly, they have to put some characters that are a little bit different out there, because I think I heard it actually helps with like funding and everything like that. So
I didn't know that.
They actually and whether or not that's Hollywood just taking advantage of the system now in some ways, probably, but yeah,
I do think I agree. I think the more diverse the movie is, the more funding you get.
Well, it's involving many different types of people and stuff like that. And I mean, Sarah and I kind of discussed, I mean, if she was a woke addition, like some people are trying to say, I don't get the feeling that they threw it in your face like they do with other films.
And and where I was, everybody kind of laughed at the part where she said that she was into redheads too. Even I did too. So like that line didn't bother me by any means.
Yeah.
I just think her character was basically the same character. I can't remember her name now. The bad woman, the character as well. Like it was just another one of those characters where they live, they die. I didn't really care about. I'm just here for Alan freaking Grant, which still made me happy that he's even in a world where dinosaurs are roaming in his backyard, he'd still rather dig up the bones.
Well, you know what? And that was one of my favorite scenes with Alan Grant. The fact that they started him off, he's at a dig site, just like you would expect Alan Grant to be. And thinking about it, it's been 20 years, over 20 years since Jurassic Park. And he's still an old dog. He's still doing the same thing. He hasn't let technology change who he is as a person. And he says a line that is very reminiscent of Jurassic Park 3. But more importantly, I totally agree, Bata. And yeah, it was wonderful to see dinosaurs with feathers. That got me overly hyped when I saw that in the prologue.
Right.
But with Alan Grant, when he says the whole line, like he's talking to these students, clearly these college kids and stuff like that. And he's just like, in the dirt, the bones, this is science. This is truth. This is what dinosaurs are, not the genetic theme park monsters that they created, with John Hammond. And I love that he's still very much that way. But of course, the kids are just like, focused on their phone, not even listening to him. And I feel like that's just very much who Alan Grant is as a person. He's just not. He is a mountain, he's going to weather the storm. He's going to age with it, but he's never going to change. He's just going to be who he is. And that's what makes his character so great. Sarah, we kind of talked about it, but we tried really hard not to spoil anything, but you and I have had some great conversations about it. Let's talk about Dr. Henry Rue, who is played by B.D. Wong. What did you think? We've now seen him in 4 films. Yeah, we've seen him in 4 because Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, and then the rest of the Jurassic World franchise. What do you think of his character arc, knowing from where he came from the first film to where he ends in this film? What did you get the sense, especially with this film?
I think this film, he really delved into like his mortality, like his humanity of, I created this, these species and now they're kind of ruling the world. And then he goes and creates these locusts that are going to create a famine. So he realizes what he did to the economy and he needs to right that wrong. And so he's feeling the guilt over that during the movie. And I think, his character arc in this movie was a little bit disappointing. I think that's where most of my disappointment came from, because I felt like he was going to be a more active character than he was. And it was very much a woe is me, like I need to fix what I did every time you see him on screen.
Out of curiosity, do you feel that do you feel like the redemption arc worked, or that he should have been the mad scientist more? Do you feel like the kind of the redemption they gave him was, could he be redeemed after everything he's done?
I mean, everything he's done was out of recruitment, right? Like they recruited him to do what he did. So it wasn't like he went out of his way to make sure that the dinosaurs were created and whatnot, and like creating the different species. I don't know if that was him playing around with the genomes or if he was asked to create those. You know what I mean? Like when what's his face comes in during the first Jurassic World movie and he said, "You specifically asked me to make it bigger."
Maserati.
Yeah, when Maserati comes in and he's like, "You specifically asked me to make it this way, so I made it that way." And stuff like that you look at him in this movie and he's very much like an old dog beaten down, kind of like, it's like he was almost forced to work with Biosyn.
Interesting.
That's where I kind of got that feel the second time we watched the movie. And then there was a little bit of a redemption when he showed Maisie the truth about where she came from and how she came to be, and like she trusts him and he wanted to right the wrong. But then there was that weird, like, they teased the idea that he was in love with Charlotte, but they didn't really go into it further.
Yeah, they definitely kind of, and I think I even saw someone in the chat say that like, did anyone else get the feeling that there was something between them? they did kind of play that a bit interesting. I was a little confused because his reactions to Maisie's mom, I think Charlotte was her name, was kind of, there felt like there was something there. Obviously he had great admiration and respect for her, but it did seem like there was a hidden story there that maybe was cut from the film, some extra scenes there or backstory. But I do think it was kind of interesting. How about you, Super Bro Corey? Seeing Henry Wu from the beginning to this film, what do you think about this redemption arc? Was he redeemed by the end of the film? Is this the direction you thought Henry Wu was going to end up in?
I think more than anything, I'm kind of glad that he finally got the picture that he's doing some messed up shit and he's working for the wrong companies type thing. And I thought the movie overall was pretty interesting as far as kind of even the political ideology and the things about what's going on in this world currently even. So like his company gave me the Monsanto vibe that farmers hate in our real world, where they're genetically doing things to the plants, the seeds, their pesticides and everything like that. So it had a very kind of this is what happens when you let Monsanto or this company take over. They're going to create these bugs that attack these farms and really try to control the food market, where maybe they thought at the time that everybody's going to switch over to our seeds and everything like that, and they're not going to have any issues. But it ended up wiping out the fields and all the farms a lot quicker than they expected. So I think it was kind of interesting to me because it took. He's created some horrible, some crazy things, some dinosaurs in a good faith science aspect side of things from the very beginning, and then kind of slowly became corrupt and more corrupt and even more so corrupt.
He kind of got drunk by the power of creation.
Exactly, and it's what was interesting to me, is that it made it to he didn't really care about all the crappy shit that he's done, all the acts of playing God that he's done, until he almost wiped everybody out with the Monsanto type food shortage that really would have screwed a lot of things, because obviously your feed for your animals, everything goes down, and it was very cool in that sense for me.
Right, like that guy from in the CIA scene, he's saying that the locusts were eating their food and their food's food. So
exactly.
Yeah. What's up, Mandy? It's good to see you here. I don't know if I've seen you here before, but Mandy says the movie was good. I don't know why people don't like it. It was kind of interesting, like talking to my coworkers, because they know I'm a big Jurassic World fan and Jurassic Park. But they were like, I'm told that you either love it or you hate it. And that's exactly what it seems like, with the critics. They seem to absolutely hate it, but fans seem to be enjoying it. In fact, I think right now it currently has the best, audience score for a Jurassic Park, Jurassic World sequel in the entire franchise. So, that says something, but in terms of, I can see where some people have certain issues, like, because I have certain issues with it. Was it a perfect film in my mind? No, but I still really enjoyed it. Like, I can't wait to see it again, because and part of me can't tell if that's just because I'm biased and I love dinosaur films and I love this franchise with a burning passion. But there were some great things that we've never seen before, as I like to say. Well, we'll talk about that with the story, but Mandy, it's very good to see you here, and I'm curious to get your thoughts on some more things. Guys, we've kind of talked about it with Henry Wu, that he felt like he was forced there. So let's talk about someone who I felt like was underutilized in this film, and honestly underutilized in the entire franchise. Let's talk about Campbell Scott's Lewis Dotson portrayal.
Right,
that's it. We got Dotson here.
He doesn't. I didn't recognize him at first. I was like, is that the same?
It's not
person?
the same actor,
Okay.
but it's the
Same
same
actor.
character.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
where I was confused. I was like, huh, what happened to is the original character dead or?
Sarah and I tried to look that up, and he's still alive, I believe, but
He
for
just
some
hasn't
reason,
been in a lot afterwards.
yeah, he just hasn't done anything. And honestly, I think Campbell Scott was like the perfect choice for your recasting of Lewis Dotson. And in my opinion, guys, I know I'm going to just jump in right here with Lewis Dotson. I absolutely loved the way Campbell Scott played him. The quirkiness, the weird tendencies he had and mannerisms. Where I have issues with his character, I thought he was a brilliant villain that they just didn't utilize to the full extent. To me, this guy had like psychotic tendencies. Like he just didn't give a care about the world, because a great way that they showed that was him eating, during like very inhumane things to do. Like when he's burning the locusts up, his project that is going to make him in charge of the entire world, right? He's eating as if like it doesn't care. We've often heard people say like, it makes me sick to my stomach, which usually says I don't have the stomach to eat anything right now. Like I don't have the hunger to eat anything. So here he is, and he's just like, no big deal. Like I'm eating a Cliff Bar or something like that, to kind of show his coldness, his inhumanity. And I just loved how great of a villain he was, but I felt like he was underutilized because we needed to see more backstory about Dotson with Biosyn, how he made this entire corporation the next big thing, how they're making accurate dinosaurs. Obviously, they have the amber mines that they've been working on for so long, but it really felt like, in a way, Dotson needed to be the Jurassic World franchise villain behind the curtain. In Jurassic World, we see BD Wong, Dr. Wu, leave the island to go to a black site for Engine. And yet in Fallen Kingdom, when we get there, he's not with Engine. He's with Lockwood and Eli Mills. So what happened to Engine during that time? And then after Lockwood's estate is completely destroyed, Biosyn picks him up with Dotson. So to me, it's like, if you watch Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous, which I think technically we can say is canon because Colin Trevorrow helped on those, and it does play within the events of Jurassic World and Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. We'll see where season 5 goes when it comes out next month. But to me, it seems like when he works with, I think did he work with Manticorp, Sarah? There was kind of an thing that Henry Wu may have had some ties to Manticorp, and yet here we see him with Biosyn. Do you feel like the connection of Dotson being a part of really the villain behind the scenes, do you think that would have made him, do you think it would have made this an even better film?
I think it would have made him a better film if he was more a built-up character through the movies. You know what I mean? Like, those cameos at the end of the movies where they show the guy behind the scenes, the puppet master, who's really the evil guy pulling all the strings.
Mm-hmm.
I think if they had built his character up more, I'd have less of an issue with his character in this movie, because when, we had this discussion, like there was a lot of scenes that I just felt were awkward with him. That, like I could see where you could like see the psychotic tendencies, but I just saw it as an awkward person. Which might as very well be, I didn't see the villainous. We saw the potential for there to be one, I think. But because I think they didn't build his character up the way that they should have throughout the franchise,
mm-hmm.
then he's just a weird kind of, villain character for me.
Just kind of like a weird, like billionaire, almost kind of like,
right.
What's Facebook, Zuckerberg kind of thing going on.
Yeah, a little bit. Cause I mean, like you do that one scene where, Ramsey is telling him, like, confronts him and basically confirms that, yeah, I've been the one behind the scenes, like screwing you over because what you're doing is wrong. And the way that you're going about it is wrong. He like definitely should have killed him. If he wanted to be the villain that the movie needed, then he should have definitely killed him in that scene.
To me, that was a mistake. That was a moment because he had so many psychotic tendencies that we were like, I was waiting for him to crack, and he never quite did. He never quite had that moment.
Yeah, you could see it in his
Yeah,
facial
right?
expression
Like,
when
and
he finally realized that Ramsey was not who he wanted him to be. You saw his face change, and that's the moment that
Mhm.
he mentally cracked, but didn't act on it like he was hitting the chair when everything was on fire.
Yeah, very, very true. And that just goes to show, like, once more, like, we know Dotson, you know, from the first film was very much trying to make his way with Biosyn, but it never quite achieved. I mean, you know, obviously his company trying to do the you know, the bad stuff with Dennis Nedry to, you know, steal from Engine didn't work out the way he thought it was going to. But it's just
Ooh.
kind of interesting that what
Yellow Devil's comment there,
Yellow
Trey, I'm gonna
Devil's
blow your mind.
Oh, I think Dominion is a solid 8, but Jurassic World is a 4 that I couldn't even finish. Really? That's yeah, that does blow my mind, because in my opinion, Jurassic World 4, I mean, if you saw my Instagram post, I said Jurassic World 4 was easily the next.
We should remind everybody our scores at the very end for all the movies.
Oh, have you rated all the films, Corey?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, we could. Well, actually, I think we're going to save that for a separate video sometime, because that's a nice topic to do. But certainly, Corey, how about you? What do you think of Lewis Dotson?
You know, it was interesting. I thought his character was overall interesting. I don't know if I necessarily. I don't know if he resembled the old Dotson that much to me personally. Yes, the old Dotson was a little weird, but he was also seemed a little bit more tactical in some ways to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I thought he was okay. I didn't really put too much. You know, I just kind of accepted the fact that he was, you know, I was like, he's Dotson's character, but he didn't look like Dotson to me.
Yeah, and you know, there is something I do want to talk about with Dotson, but we'll do that when we talk about the story. So I guess we can go ahead and move, because I know some people are like, "Well, Trey, you forgot about Maisie." No, I didn't, because I think Maisie is important to the story and why I had certain issues with the film. So, guys, let's go ahead and talk about the story of Jurassic World Dominion. First off, it's the longest Jurassic World and Jurassic Park film that we've ever had in the franchise. I think 2 hours and 26 minutes. First off, do you guys think that was enough time to tell this story, or do you felt like there were some things missing?
You know, I thought like there was some things missing. And we kind of talked about this in our last video. I think because they had so much time to fuck with the movie, they did it too much to where they messed up a perfect thing. Like, it could have been perfect, but I think, you know, watching the movie for the second time, I feel like the story jumped around a little bit.
Okay. How about you, Super Bro Corey? Do you felt like the film was long enough? There was parts that could have been cut, or did it need some more filler scenes to explain certain things?
Yeah, you know me. I'm always going to want more content. So, similar to the Zack Snyder's Justice League, I'm going to always want it to be longer and go into more detail with things. So I'm always going to say it could have been longer. So even with the 2 hour, 20 minute movie, or 2 hour, 40, whatever it was, I would have liked it to be a little bit longer for sure.
Okay. Out of
but
curiosity,
not two parts. I hate when people do 2-part movies.
Why do you hate that, out of curiosity?
I think it's frustrating. I think it because it's never right away. You know, like, why can't they you know, maybe release it 1 month and then release the second part, you know, the next month or something like that. You know, it's always a pain in the ass to wait a year or two for the next one to come out. So it's like,
I would agree. I hate the waiting part when people do parts.
Yeah, so I would say I hate it personally. I would rather, like I said, just be a Zack Snyder 4 hour, 10 hour Godfather epic.
We've entered a new era. Welcome to Jurassic World.
Yeah, chaos. Oh,
Now Trey's having the issues.
look at that.
I feel
All
like this is
Oh,
karma.
I think I might have accidentally bummed something. Sorry, I was trying to copy a share link to send a Skywalker.
Yep.
Oh,
Trey's
can you guys
slacking
hear
on us
me?
now.
Yep. I mean, you're lagging.
Say now. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, look at it! It's finally time. It's the Wonder Wife and Super Bro channel. I've been waiting this my whole life.
I'm
Sarah?
sure. So,
What's your-
Corey, here's my plan. This weekend, we're gonna let
Okay.
we're gonna let Trey take your parents to see the Jurassic Park movie, and you and I are gonna go see Top Gun.
I am so down for that.
Dude, I could see
question-
that movie every day of my life and be content.
Question for you, Wonder Wife.
What's up?
What's your favorite dinosaur?
My favorite dinosaur, of course, is gonna be Blue, the Velociraptor.
You like Velociraptor, but like besides Blue being the Velociraptor, like when you first saw Jurassic Park, what was your favorite? Or when you first thought about dinosaurs, what was your favorite dinosaur?
I think my favorite dinosaur. Oh gosh, I can't remember what the name is, but it's the duckbill dinosaur, the bigger duckbill dinosaur. That was my favorite one. But I think the franchise has made me come to the conclusion that the Velociraptor is my favorite dinosaur.
The Parasaurolophus.
Yep, that one.
And Trey came in at perfect timing.
Hey man, I know my dinosaurs. So where were we talking about? Just a second, the story, right?
Yep.
How do you guys feel? To me, it's always kind of a weird thing when a film does this. How do you feel about the film starting by basically narrating everything that has happened in the Jurassic World franchise?
That was a loaded question.
Yeah. Well, I mean, do you like when a film kind of summarizes the entire franchise because they assume people haven't seen the first or the second film and they're
No.
like, this is where we're at?
No, I think it's better if they, I mean, even coming from like a marketing standpoint, right? Like if you don't summarize, then the other people have to watch the other movies. And so you get more money from that too. But I think it's better that way, you know, for the people that have watched the movies, we don't have to have a recap of, oh, we just watched that. We know what's going on. We don't need you to take up the time out of a movie to tell us what already happened.
Yeah. How about you, Super Bro Corey?
It doesn't bother me, to be honest with you. I think in this sense, it probably made sense to actually kind of tell you what's been going on and kind of do a recap of everything. Obviously, they were trying to incorporate some other themes that was going in, as well as I think it was kind of good to see that, okay, it's been a few years, you know, since the last time we saw everybody, and that the world's changed and how people are interacting with the dinosaurs. You know, and immediately I look at myself and I'm like, oh shit, I'd be one of those poachers.
Jeez, Corey, you would. You would be Steven Spielberg sitting in front of a dead Triceratops. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Did you hear about that? That fooled a lot of people.
I know that still makes me laugh to this day that people thought he actually killed a Triceratops in that photo. But no, like the people who are like eating the dinosaurs and stuff like that, that to me was like, man,
that's very.
I kind of want to go.
Right?
I want to. Okay, tell me you wouldn't try a dinosaur.
No, I wouldn't.
Sarah?
I think it's weird.
Sarah, would you try eading a dinosaur?
Be honest. You could say it, even though your husband's going to be upset with you.
Oh, 100% I would.
Exactly.
I enjoy
like
exotic
Brontosaurus steak here.
And I would love to hear from the chat too, if it was available and let's say it wasn't illegal and on the black market of things, would you try a dinosaur steak? Personally, I would like mine medium rare. You know, mashed potatoes on the side. And look who's here, Trey.
Is it my boy Skywalker the Jedi?
It's time. Let's bring him in.
It is time. Mr. Skywalker the Jedi, how's it going, brother?
What's going on, peoples? I am so honored to be on the Bat Channel once again. The salute to Trey, Super Bro Corey, and Wonder Wife Sarah. You guys are all amazing. I love all three of you.
Love
My
you,
man,
buddy.
you know
You're
how
the
I feel
best.
about you. Guys, I always say, if you have not subscribed to Skywalker the Jedi, you need to. Just stop. Just stop wasting time and just go do it, because the man is brilliant. And I think recently you passed 200 subscribers, right?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Congrats,
That
buddy.
was quite a milestone for me. You know, I never really expected to have anybody sub into my channel at all. So, you know, it's dope that I got a little over 200 now.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Dude. Congrats.
Congratulations,
Well
man.
deserved.
That's awesome.
And honestly, you deserve more. So I know you'll get there in no time.
Yeah, you'll be 1K in no time for sure, man. That's exciting, bro. But since you're coming in, Skywalker, right at a touchy subject for Trey, you know, we asked the question while Trey kind of lagged out. If the opportunity was there to eat a T-Rex or a dinosaur, you know, and it was completely legal, would you taste it? Would you give it a try?
I don't know, right? I mean, because I've had gator, you know what I'm saying? So, like, you know, but at the same time, I don't know if I'm down to try a brontosaurus burger. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, you know.
I tell you what, I'm gonna just be disappointed if it tastes like chicken. I know that much.
Well,
but,
I mean, Corey, that's probably what it would taste like, because dinosaurs are birds, you know, or I should say birds are dinosaurs, you know.
That's a good point. So Restore the Snyderverse guy says, why not? Bat Dan says we eat T-Rex every day with a chicken. Trevor H said I would.
All right.
Devil says I eat everything. So a lot of people
I don't eat everything.
Retro Nerd Girl says I'm a vegetarian vegan. I couldn't do it, but if I ate meat, I would at least try it at least once. See? Oh, Bat Fanatic said I would not. See, I'm at least curious, you know, what would it taste like, you know?
Well, you know, I mean, it goes to say a lot, because I think Russians, I can't remember what year, when they discovered a half frozen woolly mammoth, the first thing they decided to do was not to study it, but to eat it.
Respect.
You know, they actually chunked it out of the ice, and they were like, cool, what do we do with this? Let's cook it.
You really serious? You know, is it going to taste more like buffalo? Is it going to taste like an elephant? I've never had an elephant before, but
you know, I think it's going to taste a little bit in between like a buffalo and beef.
Jeez, you guys. So Skywalker, as you come in, I know you recently just saw Jurassic World Dominion. What were your initial thoughts? Twice? You're already at twice. Did you see it earlier today?
Yes, I did. Yes,
Nice.
I did. Man, I really like this movie, guys. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I thought the pacing was great. I feel like every scene was needed, right? Pretty much every single scene was either moving the plot forward or it was setting up something that was going to be a payoff later. So there wasn't really much wasted time. I do agree with you guys. We could have gotten a little bit more out of the Dotson character, right? But at the same time, I pretty much enjoyed almost everybody else. I had some issues with Kayla too, but you know, outside of that, I thought the movie was fantastic. I loved the legendary characters. I thought it was dope when they finally met up, and it is good, in my opinion, that they kind of kept them separated for most of the movie, and then that way when they brought them in at the end, it just made it that much more special to me, right? So I really enjoyed this film. I thought it had great action, you know, and there was a kid sitting next to me, and it was just really dope seeing them get like scared and everything. And you know, I even jumped once, right? You know, I got by a pretty big jump scare, and so you know, I was laughing throughout it, right? I just had a great time, and I thought all of the characters kind of had their stories wrapped up, and that was a hard thing to kind of do, you know.
Yeah,
this has been a long-standing franchise that has been going on for quite some time, and so for them to kind of bring everybody's story to a close, I felt like was a hard plane to land, but I feel like he did it. So
very nice. As you know, as I've kind of said earlier, to me, I think Jurassic World Dominion is easily the most ambitious film of the entire franchise, because they really went to, I mean, they went around the world on this film, and the amount of dinosaurs they had in this film, feathered, you know, and some that aren't dinosaurs really, that are more birds. You know, they had obviously the Quetzalcoatlus, the flying reptile, and many different other species, even that old deer species from the Mesozoic era that they were talking about. So a lot, and very just ambitious film, and kind of almost felt like that there was so much in it that they couldn't, like, there was just a lot going on is what I'll say for this film. And while it's very entertaining throughout, and like you said, there's some great action sequences. Like, I think one of the best action sequences that I've ever seen in a Jurassic World film was the whole bike chase through the city of the Atrociraptors. What did you guys all think about that? Especially because they kind of incorporated with the Atrociraptors with, you know, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, what the Indominus, Indoraptor was able to do with the laser pointers, and to really have the military applications that we were discussing from Fallen Kingdom, kind of a topic that they've always considered doing in Jurassic World. Like Jurassic Park 4 was also supposed to be about humanoid dinosaurs for military applications. And yet here we are just seeing dinosaurs being the military applications. What did you guys think of that crazy cool action bike chase scene?
Oh, I absolutely loved it. I think that was one of my favorite parts in the movie. I think it was shot very well too.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, Trey, in Jurassic World, I really wanted to see the next one have the militarization of dinosaurs in the second one. So it's nice to finally be able to see that in the third one, where just a quick laser pointer, and it didn't even need to be, you know, you hold the laser on your target, you just point it on there once, and that thing is tracking you from there on out, man. That's a wild weapon there for sure. So it was enjoyable to watch there.
Yeah, I thought it was great. I felt like it was very reminiscent of like that T2 chase, right? Where you just have like these things that are just on you and they're not stopping under any circumstances, right? And you know, I just thought overall it was dope. I mean, when Bryce Dallas Howard hit that one with the bar, I like damn near jumped out my seat. Like I couldn't even really contain myself. I was like, whoa, like, you know. And so as for that action scene, I thought it was pretty much damn near perfect.
Yeah. Personally, so here's a quick question for you guys. What do you think about kind of taking the focus away from the dinosaurs so much, in terms of the dinosaurs being the big bads? Not the big bads in terms of humans are usually always the big bads in these films, but in terms of the dinosaurs, right? Like usually you have a big bad dinosaur that's hunting the humans. What did you think about that? In this case, it's locusts, it's insects. The biblical, implications by that. Let's start with Wonder Wife, Sarah, and then work our way down.
Okay.
I felt like it didn't take away. It didn't add to the story as much as I wanted. Like it added too much. You know what I mean? Like we expected there to be a big bad in the Jurassic World to be a dinosaur, right? Like I thought it was going to be the Giganotosaurus, and it was locusts. Like I want to go to a dinosaur movie and watch dinosaurs. I don't want to watch locusts.
Interesting. Okay. How about you, Skywalker the Jedi?
Oh man. Me personally, I thought it was great, right? I felt like it added to Dr. Henry Wu's motivations, right? Because it was almost as if like he was like Oppenheimer, right? Like his creation is about to potentially end mankind. It's one thing when it's dinosaurs, right? Because hey, you know, you can hide from the dinosaurs and stuff like that, right? You know, it's just not as much of a threat as we're not about to have any food anymore, right? And so that was completely like, you know, it felt like it was on him. And I think that it was also dope because it kind of ties into what Jeff Goldblum was always talking about, like, there's going to be unforeseen circumstances, right? And so it's almost like poetic that, you know, out of all these things that they created, it was the locust that was going to be the one that really did us in.
Great point. Yeah, it definitely, as you said, it kind of expanded the Jurassic World and Park franchise in terms of some of the other themes, a part of that world that were problems back then, that how it would affect us in this coexisting world with prehistoric creatures. Corey, what did you think about the locust and the biblical implications and references by that?
Like I said a little earlier, I personally loved it. You know, I thought that it had some great ties in. Obviously, the whole Monsanto issue that we see, you know, with the farmers and everything like that, and our current food industry. So it was kind of fun to see, you know, look what happens when somebody has this much technology that they're able to, you know, really control the food market like that. And it was almost kind of like a you know, a warning for, you know, kind of like that Terminator warning. It felt like for me, you know, like we shouldn't be messing with this stuff. And personally, like Skywalker said, I also agree. It added more to Wu's character in the sense that he's created some horrific dinosaurs. We're talking, he's, you know, splicing genes, he's changing DNA up to make this the worst possible dinosaur, the most insane killer that you could possibly even imagine, the scariest thing that you could imagine. Yet the thing that he finally feels regret towards is the fact that he created this monster locust that is really going to kill all the food supply for us, our you know, animals that we eat. And it's not the dinosaurs that killed us. It's the fact that he's, you know, mutated these locusts. So I enjoyed that story arc. It didn't bother me that I didn't have the same issues as you guys did.
Okay. Out of curiosity, we talk about the locust being the big bad of this film, you know, other than humans, right? You know, with Lewis Dotson. What do you think about the marketing? They really did in all the trailers reference basically showing off the new apex predator, the Giganotosaurus, as the big bad. Even Colin Trevorrow referenced it as the Joker of this film. Did you guys feel like the Giganotosaurus lived up to what they were building it to be, or do you felt like it kind of took the back seat a little bit? Sarah, let's start with you.
It took the back seat.
You think it took the back seat? Like it wasn't shown enough?
Yeah.
Okay. Like maybe it should have been the one kind of hunting or, you know, pursuing the humans a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. How about you, Skywalker?
Yeah, I can say that the Giganotosaurus definitely did take a backseat beating, because we only saw it like 2 or 3 times, right?
Yeah, I think it was literally 3 times, and that was it.
Yeah.
And pretty quick scenes too.
Yeah. Yeah. I can definitely say that the Giganotosaurus took the back seat. But I did like the fight scene at the end with the three dinosaurs though. So, you know.
Yeah. How about
I don't know all these dinosaur names like Trey does.
Therizinosaurus, right? Man, come on.
Whatever one with the claws, that shit was crazy.
Therizinosaurus. I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
that was
right.
a very
with
cool.
you. I'm letting Trey, you know, he knows all the names. That's all I need to know. Is that he
I know. I was partly jumping out of my seat when I saw the Therizinosaurus. I was like, yes, man. Like, and they did such a great job. That scene was very terrifying with the Therizinosaurus. And definitely, yeah, when you think about it, that would be such a badass creature just running around. I mean, really, it would be an apex predator for sure. Super Bro Corey, what did you think of the Giganotosaurus? Were you impressed? Do you feel like it needed more? Do you think it needed Spinosaurus treatment?
Well, I would say this, because the director is the one that said it was going to be the Joker of the film, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So I think hearing that right from him, you know, I think my expectations were met in this movie. When he said a Joker-esque dinosaur, I just had a hard time even imagining what that possibly could be even mean. So I think I was like, for me, I still wasn't expecting much. So it didn't bother me that much. I'm like, I don't know how you could possibly make a Joker-esque dinosaur. I think that was a weird character to compare it to. Personally, I think it was probably more of a marketing ploy in the sense that it got everybody talking about like, oh, what was this Joker-esque dinosaur going to be like? So I think for me, my expectations were still like it kind of maybe more Godzilla level in the sense that we wouldn't see them too much. That there's still a lot of plots to. I guess in reality, yes, that dinosaur it was an important part, but we have a lot of things to cram into this movie with the original cast and the legacy cast. So I think it met my expectations. Could I have seen it more? Sure. I think we all like to see dinosaurs as much as we can. So, but it didn't affect how I felt about the movie.
Personally, sorry, go ahead.
That was a very weird thing that he said. That the dinosaur was going to be like the Joker, because I had that same feeling as Corey. I was like, what does that even mean? Right? Like, I couldn't picture what the dinosaur mean. Like, what is he going to be leaving traps? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's really
want to see a magic trick.
So it was just pretty confusing. And but I think that we got about enough of them that we could with everything else that they had to wrap up.
Yeah, me personally, I mean, I think Colin Trevorrow quoting it as the Joker of the Jurassic World franchise did throw me off, because as a Batman fan, I know what that means. That tells me that this is going to be the arch nemesis of the entire franchise, that this thing's going to be absolutely terrifying. And in a way it was, because of the sheer size. It's just a very awesome dinosaur that they found in Argentina, and the fact that I could kind of see what he meant by the Joker, because it was kind of weird that this dinosaur almost was like taunting them, playing at them, like, that it would just stare at them and be like, yeah, I'm in your face. Like, yeah, I'm going to eat you, and not like do it. It like
kind of like a psychopath. So similar to Joker as well. So, I think if you really dive deep into the traits of what Joker is, potentially a psychopath, mass murderer, diabolical. Sure. Okay. That's basically every mean dinosaur,
Yeah. Hey, Corey, out of curiosity,
that thing knows that it's like the biggest, baddest thing out there. And he's like, yo, so I ain't even really got a trip like that.
Yeah. He was just like, I need to chase you. Like, you want to go up in that building? I'm going to break through the window, Out of curiosity, Corey, I know you've played this game. I don't know about you, Skywalker, but Sara apparently has played it. She called me out on it last show. She was like, yeah, I know what you're talking about, dumbass. Do you guys feel like if you've ever played the game Dino Crisis 2, the Giganotosaurus makes an appearance and whoops the T-Rex ass and is the big bad of that video game. When the Giganotosaurus comes up, though, often what it did in the video game was break through the door, the window, and you would just see its head trying to come at you, because it was so big, Do you feel like this was like a slight nod because those games are so popular back then that, some, Dino Crisis fans would be like, oh my God, I know what that was about. Like, that was totally, a reference to that.
That's exactly the reaction that you just had is exactly why that was in the movie. You know what I'm saying? It's because they wanted to say, hey, that's from Dino Crisis 2. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, and they got it. I think it was absolutely a nod to it. I hadn't played any of the Dino Crisis games in a very long time, but I did remember that dinosaur coming through the window and you only seeing its head. So absolutely.
Yeah. I agree with what Skywalker said. I would say yes, because you got to think, Trey, people don't know dinosaurs like dinosaurs. So for us average folk here, we see that and we're like, oh shit, that was like Dino Crisis 2, and then connect dinosaurs that way, like that's so I think it was a nod.
I mean,
it
Colin
all, so-
Trevorrow definitely is a big dinosaur nut. Like he was even talking about in an interview recently where he was like, "Oh my god, I love what they're doing with Prehistoric Planet, with being narrated by David Attenborough with Favreau, Justin Favreau. Is it Justin Favreau? James Favreau?
John Favreau.
John Favreau. Thank you. See, I knew it was a J.
Yeah.
Jeez, I can't believe I forgot
He's
that.
like
But
J. Abrams.
No. But I mean, he was even talking about it. It's just like, I'm not trying to do a plug here, but he's like, Prehistoric Planet. That's where it's at. That's some cool shit right there. Yellow Devil says Trey needs a T-Rex costume for his next food video.
I've literally been so close to buying a T-Rex costume so many times, and Trey keeps telling me no. So it's his fault that we don't.
Because if you do that, you'll just see me running around the house in a T-Rex suit the entire time.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad.
I vote yay.
Me too. I'm also.
So you heard Skywalker. If he wants it, it's done.
Yeah, absolutely.
So as Skywalker mentioned earlier, that he really liked the battle scene with the Rexy and Giganotosaurus, and eventually coming in to save the day with the Therizinosaurus. Wonder Wife, let's talk about it with you. What did you think of the big battle?
I don't think it was epic enough. They didn't build it up enough like they usually do with those big dinosaur battles. And, we talked about it outside of the show, and I'm in agreement with you that let Rexy have her day. Why can't she just win a fight by herself? She's badass enough, so it's not unrealistic.
Okay. How about Skywalker? You're in disagreement. You're like, hell no.
Hey, Giganotosaurus was walking around like that for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And the Therizinosaurus would have got it too. It would have been the same thing. Like they needed to pair up because both of them didn't want that smoke.
Okay. How about you, Super Corey? What did you think of the final battle?
I would say it didn't bother me. I just did a quick Google search, Trey.
Yeah.
How long does did they expect that the life expectancy for a T-Rex? Do you know how long it was?
Are you talking about in Jurassic World when they referenced it?
No, well, it doesn't matter either way, just the life expectancy of a T-Rex.
You mean in scientific general?
Yeah. I'll answer it for you since I put you on the spot there because you're Mr. Dino
because
guy.
I'm also thinking most dinosaurs didn't it was very tough for them to live for a long time, but some of them could. I think the oldest T-Rex we found was 40 something.
Really? Okay. So they said life expectancy for T-Rex on a quick Google search is 28 years old. Now, if you think about
is that average though?
I just want to point out the fact that Trey didn't
trying to
know
remember
a
what
dinosaur
Sue
fact off the
was.
top of his head immediately.
Exactly. Exactly. We put them in for a curveball there. So you got to think straight. If you do just a little common math here, so 2022 is when this movie came out. 1993 is the original Rexy, right? That's correct.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's
Rexy is the same Rex from Jurassic Park 1.
So that's 29 years. Now, obviously, Rexy wasn't a baby T-Rex at that point.
That's the same dinosaur from the first one?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Exactly. So we're talking an old-ass dinosaur. It's at minimum 30, 40, 35, 40 years old at this point. So I don't know how long it takes for a T-Rex to mature. Maybe I'm assuming 5
not
years
very long at all. It's literally within a couple of years that they're adults.
Okay, so then we're talking about a 30 to 35 year old, 32 to 35-year-old T-Rex here. Yeah, I'm expecting Rexy to get his ass whipped.
Well, I mean, but then again, Corey, they did reference in Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom that hey, you give a T-Rex healthcare, it could live 3 times that.
But if you look at different zoos and everything like that, typically life expectancy of animals in zoos are more on the shorter side than they actually live in the wild. So,
see, I was remembering the T-Rex that got its neck broke, but I forgot that was a different one.
Yeah, that one was on Isla Sorna. Which could have been a T-Rex from the Lost World, but we're not really certain on that. I don't think it was ever confirmed. But Bat Fanatic coming in with a $10 super chat saying, funding your T-Rex suit. Oh God. See, now this is gonna become a thing like Trey, like now you got to do it. You got to get one and do a TikTok video.
Yeah, I think you need to make a video with it, dude. That's what really needs to happen.
I got a big
that needs to
head,
cap off all this Jurassic Park coverage. Facts.
I don't think. Do you have? Yeah, I think Trey, you definitely need to do it. Let's do this one as a super chat.
Cool.
Clever girl.
Oh man, me personally, I'm gonna have to be in agreement with Sarah here that I was kind of like, man, Rexy needs to have her day, like especially because it's been done before, you know, like Rexy had help from Blue with the Indominus, and then the Mosasaurus came in, and then I mean, Fallen Kingdom, she got her day, you know, she was kind of the savior and everything, but I felt like personally, especially because of the prologue, that it made sense to have Rexy, you know, not need any assistance, that Rexy was able to get one up on the Giganotosaurus this time. Now, whether that claimed her life, who knows? But I also thought it was kind of backtracked a little bit, because while it was a nice ending for Rexy to have won the fight, it was a little weird that they talked about, you know, the Giganotosaurus is the apex predator. You know, we'll see what happens now that Rexy is here. And yet you find out at the Biosyn, you know, the Biosyn Valley, that there's a family of Tyrannosaurus Rexes. So obviously other apex predators. Did the Giganotosaurus just back those ones down and put them in submission, basically? Like, I'm the king here, like, don't mess with me. Like, you would think the other two T-Rexes, I mean, honestly, that may have been a better time to introduce the family of T-Rexes. Rexy's down for the count, and then a family of T-Rexes help gang up on her. So now we know Rexy has a family after. Do you think that would have been better than just bringing up the Therizinosaurus?
No, I think having the other dinosaur was better. If Rexy was gonna have help, I think it was better to have the other dinosaur, other than just a whole bunch of T-Rexes ganging up on the Giganotosaurus.
Okay, fair.
Because
like it's not a mafia movie, Trey.
Trey, you should know better that the T-Rex is a lone fighter, right? Isn't that how the T-Rexes roll for the most part?
Well, they did scavenge to get. Well, I mean, it depends on who you're talking to. If Robert T. Backer, who's another famous paleontologist,
oh boy, here we go.
He would say, "Here we go." You're like, God damn it, here we go. Scientific trade coming out. I mean, he would tell you that the T-Rexes were hunters. You know, they did have a tendency to sometimes fight together, especially if there's a big meal at the end of it. In this case, this would have been more of a territorial thing, like, you know, this is who's top of the mountain kind of thing. Jack Horner would tell you, well, Tyrannosaurus Rex were scavengers, so they wouldn't have wasted their time with a fight. So I mean, it kind of, I mean,
but Trey, you listen to Jack Horner more than other people, right?
Which, I mean, they did kind of
hold on to your butts.
I mean, they did kind of reference that, because when that one deer is killed by the Therizinosaurus, the T-Rex actually goes after it after it's been dead for a while.
Okay.
You know, so that was kind of a nod to what Jack Horner said. And they also made another nod to what Jack Horner said when, you know, a person was like, oh, well, you know, dinosaurs, you know, are birds. And one guy was like, well, technically dinosaurs are everywhere. There's birds all around us and dinosaurs are birds. That was clearly a direct nod to Jack Horner's theories about dinosaurs. Well, theories, it's facts.
Yeah, but you know, if you think about it, Jurassic Park 1 used all of Horner's theories. So the fact that they're, you know, introducing other people's theories, now I'm really confused, Trey.
Jesus, come on, man. Okay, let's get to the hard one now. Maisie. As I said, we were kind of talking about her character in the story, because obviously her story became a big thing, and she was honestly one of the biggest issues I had with film. Not because of her character. I like the actress. I think she did a wonderful job in this film. But I don't want to call it a bait and switch, but the fact that they kind of flipped her story around a little bit to be like, oh no, you're not actually a clone that was made in a test tube. Like, your mom, you know, used her own DNA and cured your disease, you know, when she was like made herself pregnant with you. Was that a weird switch that I feel like they kind of messed up? They really created a problem in Fallen Kingdom. And I don't know if you all seen Fallen Kingdom, Skywalker. I'm assuming you have, but like Eli Mays says that Lockwood and Hammond were close, but they were pulled apart because of, Lockwood wanting to clone his daughter, and that would become Maisie. That's what drew them apart. But in this film, based off the video recording, it was in 2007 when I think Charlotte created Maisie, which is weird because I was pretty sure that Hammond died fairly recently after The Lost World. So that would have been like 2000, 1998, anywhere between that time. So what drew them apart? To me, that created like a big story issue of like, okay, where was the conflict between Lockwood and Hammond?
I do agree a little bit. You explained to me the timeline of everything that happened, and it was a little bit confusing for me, and it didn't flow like it should have. But I don't dislike this new storyline of her being grown in not a test tube. You know what I mean? Like I preferred this more storyline where like she does have a mom, but she had changed her DNA so that she didn't have the genetic disease that she died from. Like I could see the whole purpose of the other side of Jurassic World, where you could use the technology that you're learning to better the world medically instead of just create dinosaurs.
How about you, Skywalker?
Yeah, the Maisie character and everything that happened surrounding her this movie that I had problems with. I feel like a lot of it came because it was almost like a Rise of Skywalker kind of thing, right? Where I feel like they were trying to correct some things about the last movie that people had problems with, right? And it ended up kind of messing with this movie a little bit, right? So I do think that it is better that they went this route, but at the same time, I just feel like they were kind of trying to clean up a lot of stuff that I felt like didn't work in Fallen Kingdom. So
okay, so you think it was a similar situation, Skywalker, because technically another director handled Fallen Kingdom. Exactly. It was kind of Colin Trevorrow correcting it a little bit, kind of putting it back into what his mindset was.
Yeah, because if you guys remember, he was going to do it, but then he stepped away to go do Star Wars.
Yeah.
And then he ended up not being able to do Star Wars. So he came back to come finish out the trilogy. But I think that he was definitely trying to clean up some things from that last movie. Because I didn't really like Fallen Kingdom that much, to be honest, either. And I really loved Jurassic World. So,
Okay. That's fair. How about you, Corey? What did you think about Maisie's kind of twist that they did with her character? And do you think it created problems or were you happy with the change?
I was okay with the change. I thought it was cool because you got to think, Trey, it was kind of like what good can happen and what good versus evil in a lot of ways is how I saw it. We saw her character of trying to heal diseases and everything like that, and then you got Wu's character who is using these technologies to really put control the world. So it was great to see, in my opinion, and I think for me, who has enjoyed the Jurassic Park and Jurassic World series, but maybe not have paid as close as attention as you have with the actual dates of when people died or when things may have happened, it was unnoticeable to me. So I didn't have any issues with how it affected how I felt about the movie overall. So that point didn't bother me. I truly enjoyed her story, and I did like how at the end she chose to put again, it's one of those, one of my favorite lines, the need of the many outweigh the need of the few or the one. I loved how she stepped up and still saved the world, was a hero in a lot of ways. So
yeah, and you know, for me, that was like just one of the issues because canon wise, it I was interested in where they were going with Fallen Kingdom. Like Fallen Kingdom, I call like the Pandora's box kind of film, where it's like, okay, you've kind of opened up this can of worms possibly for Jurassic World and the Jurassic Park franchise by creating a human clone. It kind of get into that more sci-fi kind of thing going on. Like where are you going with this? Like it could be cool, but I gotta wait to see. And seeing that they changed it, it almost made me feel like, did they ruin Fallen Kingdom by basically going against it? Like, oh, that's not quite what happened. This is what happened.
But,
you know, to kind of be
Well,
like,
she was still a clone though, right?
she was still a clone, just done in a different way.
Yeah. Okay.
So it was just, that was kind of the thing. And they kind of almost in a way, it almost felt like maybe they were trying to make her character even more important to the franchise because she is this key to, you know, humanity's savior in a way, because she has the DNA that can help, you know, stop the locust issue, rather than it just being a simple story that she's the first human clone in history kind of thing.
Yeah, I hear you, Trey. I'm just with Skywalker on this one, man. Like I love Jurassic World, but if you looked at my chart, I feel like you rate Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom too high personally. I think you gave
you thought I rated it too high? See, Fallen Kingdom to me is kind of a lot like Lost World. The first time I watched Fallen Kingdom, I was in agreement with a lot of people. I was kind of like, I don't know if this works. But Fallen Kingdom keeps growing on me because I love the concept of it. To me, like where it ends is exactly where I wanted to see it go further with Jurassic World Dominion, being true coexistence with dinosaurs rather than so much, you know, Biosin is trying to control the world. You know, I wanted to see like the whole Jurassic World battle at Big Rock, the short movie they did on YouTube. That's exactly where I thought they were going with this. Like I wanted to see more of that. The issue of trying to coexist with dinosaurs, seeing the political side of that, seeing the, you know, the hunter side of that,
which I find super interesting for you, Trey, because, you know, if you look at the zombie side of things with Walking Dead, we were all about, you know, the people side of things, the interference that, you know, people would have. So it's interesting that here you want more of the, you know, zombie or more of the dinosaur.
No, not so much of that. Like it's still about humans, but now it's like we've seen a small group of people try to survive in the dinosaur world, but now we got dinosaurs trying to survive in the human world. And that becomes a very interesting story to me because how do we do that? How do we coexist? Like, and they teased it, you know, they teased it in all the marketing with the Dino Tracker website. They teased it in the beginning of the film with, you know, the Mosasaurus, you know, jumping out, eating the crab trap, you know, and pulling down all the seamen into the ship undersea, you know, and stuff like that. So you see the issue, but it's so quick that they don't almost expand upon it. And I was kind of hoping for that more rather than to kind of get back into a one area. This is where all the dinosaurs are being relocated and we're following a group in basically a park, you know, in a sense. I did like that they took it to many different places and stuff like that, but I was expecting, based off the marketing, they were going to go into truly a coexisting world with dinosaurs rather than there's a big bad businessman who had Dr. Wu create something awful to control people, you know, not so much that I didn't mind the human being the bad guy. I just think rather than it be the issue of control of the world, I think it would have been better to maybe go in a slightly different direction in terms of what he was doing, you know, or why he was doing it. Retro Nurgle says they may be using her as an anchor to possibly make spin-off films.
I agree.
I hope, and that was another thing for me, guys. As we'll kind of wrap up the story end of our show. Do you feel like this was truly an epic conclusion to the Jurassic World franchise, or did it leave you wanting more? Me, just to kick it off, it left me, while I enjoyed it a lot, it left me wanting more. And thank God we're getting the season 5 of Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous after this, because if this was it for the Jurassic World franchise, I'm a little depressed.
So I guess if you could explain on that real quick, Trey, before we answer you. I don't watch that series. Where does that fall into this Jurassic World?
It starts literally from the moment the Indominus Rex, takes out Isla Nublar, basically, and it follows these kids that are part of. It's basically it's day camp, Corey. There's this camp called Camp Cretaceous where these kids basically get left on
Jurassic
the island of
Day
Isla Nublar, and they have to survive as kids on this dinosaur island, and they find their way to different islands and stuff like that.
So
it goes from Jurassic World, Jurassic World and Fallen Kingdom. This one I think this one's the season 5 looks like it's still going to be a part of Fallen.
We're going to get a
timeline.
Rebels, basically, is what you're telling me.
We're going to get what? Sorry,
a Rebels, basically. So you got Clone Wars, and now we're going to get Rebels.
Maybe, I don't know. I would get whatever I can get from the Jurassic World franchise. But how about you guys? Sarah, let's start with you. Was this an epic conclusion? Was it satisfying? Or if this was truly the end of the Jurassic era, are you content?
I'm kind of on the fence about that. I'm not as content to where like I feel like I have closure, but I feel like they paid homage to a lot of things where I could be content, but still want more. You know what I mean? Like I could always watch another dinosaur movie. You married me, didn't you?
I would have married you if you said no to that.
Exactly.
In fact, the divorce papers were being written up if you were just...
Oh yeah, exactly. I do feel like, I thought about this a little bit today, actually, where they end the movie with everybody on the helicopter like they do in the first movie.
That's how you would have liked it ended?
No, that's how they did it. So I feel like they, concluded it with, the first movie they ended with all of them going home on a helicopter. And this last movie was them getting rescued from the shit show that everything is burning. And then,
they kind of continued it, right?
Yeah.
They kind of showed, I'll say my final piece after everyone said anything. What do you think, Skywalker the Jedi? Was this the epic conclusion you were hoping for the franchise? If it truly is the last film for a while?
Yo, I think it was a great conclusion. I got what I wanted. The characters got a great ending to their stories, I believe. And if this truly is the last one, I'm straight. But if they gonna do something else, hey, I'm always be here for it. I love the Jurassic Park and the Jurassic World movies. Outside of Fallen Kingdom. And I didn't like the way 3 ended, but outside of that, I love all the rest of the movies, but I was great with the way this one ended, and I thought it was dope. So
that's fair. How about you, Super Bro Corey? Epic conclusion or letdown?
So I was actually pleased by the movie as a whole. I enjoyed it overall. I thought it was a great movie, and I was on the edge of my seat for the majority of it. So I think it was a great movie. Obviously, I always want more. So, but as an old saying goes, leave them wanting more. There's many times where we get, just so much content, so much movies, so much everything that we get tired of it and it becomes old and boring, or it ruins it for us. So I think this was overall, it was a good experience. I think that they've met a place where they could have this content end. As a whole, I think that there are potentials for spinoffs, maybe not with the whole Legacy and the Jurassic World cast in it together. Maybe we see more of a kind of a combination here and there. That could be a possibility. But again, at what point
Jeff Goldblum spinoff?
Exactly.
I'd be
Absolutely.
game with that.
I did have a lot of those
Dinosaurs?
moments in this movie where you just turn. I am pretty sure I turned to you several times and went, "Fucking Jeff Goldblum."
Right, yeah, Jeff Goldblum really came out on this one. He almost forgot I mean, I don't say he like almost forgot Ian Malcolm, because Jeff Goldblum is Ian Malcolm.
Pretty
but
much.
Like there was moments Ian Malcolm, his kind of weird personality came out a little bit, and it was great to see. And just, I mean,
when he had to close his shirt, oh my god.
Yeah,
right,
he
yeah.
just like clicks the one button and she turns and goes, you just,
Nah, bro, that's
I'm
so
sorry."
90s. He's like, oh, okay.
I think, overall, the biggest thing for me too, like, yes, Jeff Goldblum was awesome. I think they finally righted a major wrong for me with Jurassic Park 3 and seeing Ellie. And I think we were all hoping for it the entire time with Ellie and Grant. And it was nice to, you saw the cute moments where their, arms were over each other. He was getting a little jealous. And then when he finally said, I'm going with you, I thought that was pretty adorable.
Pretty perfect.
Well.
Like for once, he's gonna bend who he is as a person to, because before Alan Grant probably said, well, I mean, remember in Jurassic Park, he said, when he sees the Triceratops, as a kid, this is my favorite, and now it's the most beautiful thing I ever saw. You would think he would say that about his love, Ellie Sattler, and I think he would say that now.
In some ways, I think it gave me a little bit more respect for Jurassic Park 3 and how that story played out with them not being together, because it meant a little bit more this time.
Yes.
When they did become together.
It did fix Jurassic Park 3, Corey, and I feel like as we talk about it now, Corey, let's go to our next slide. Let's have everyone give at least 3 pros. If you have any cons, you can say, but let's not go more than 3 cons. So 3 pros, 3 cons. If you have 0 cons, if you have 0 pros, you don't have to say that, but not go more than 3. As Corey said, for me, Sarah has heard me say it a million times, even before we knew what they were going to do with Jurassic World Dominion, Fallen Kingdom, Jurassic World. When we used to watch the Jurassic Park films together, every time we saw Jurassic Park 3, I would look at you and say, this is where they f***ed up. Because I was like, it makes no sense that Alan Grant and Ellie Sattler wouldn't end up together. Because at the end of Jurassic Park 1, what is their biggest issue in their relationship?
That they don't want kids.
He doesn't want kids, right? Like, he doesn't think he would be a good dad. And then at the end of that film, he gives her that look with Timmy and Timmy and Lex. I'm okay. I'm not losing it. Timmy and Lex, he's like, yeah, I could do this. I could be a dad. And she smiles at him, thinking like, well, maybe this could this is going to be great. This is a new you. And then Jurassic Park 3, we really see he hasn't changed. He's still very much set in his ways, other than he's going crazy about velociraptors even more, right? He's more obsessed with them. And then here we finally get it fixed. They're together. There's love between them, and they got it. Wonderful, right? Like, it truly righted a wrong in the franchise. Give us, Sarah, 3 pros and 3 cons if you have them.
So my 3 pros are, the joining of the new cast and the old cast. Although I think they could have done it more epically than they did.
Okay.
My second one is the amount of different dinosaurs. Just how many different ones there were in this movie was phenomenal. And I did like the storyline. I think the storyline went well. I think, they did, in my mind, jump around a little bit more than they really should have. I think the storyline was solid. Cons, they could have set up the villain better with Dotson. I don't really know if I have any 3. The T-Rex fight at the end, I think could have been, again, built up more and a little bit more epic. When we talked about it, the way that the music makes you feel the emotion in the scene, I think the music could have been more epic in that scene. Okay. Other than that, I don't really have a 3rd con, other than maybe the locusts. I think the locust part should have taken a back seat. Not that they shouldn't have been in the movie, but I think they should have taken a back seat to some of the dinosaurs and whatnot. But I think, I would agree with Skywalker. I think it did add to the story after we've had the discussion about it, but I don't think it needed to be the main focus of the movie. Although it made it relatable to, like if the food's gone, we're all gonna die.
Yeah. Right. How about you, Skywalker? 3 pros, 3 cons, if you have any.
Yeah, sorry I had to go. The pizza guy got here. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
That's why
See, you're celebrating already, my man. You gonna share here? You gonna send some to Colorado?
All right. What kind of pizza, though, Sky? What are we working with here?
Pepperoni, sausage, and onions. You know what I'm saying?
Respect.
That sounds good. All right.
Respect. That sounds
Yeah.
delish.
I usually just go with the pepperoni and sausage, but there was like 3 toppings, so whatever.
Nice.
But yeah. All right. 3 pros. I say the pacing was awesome. I love the action and just the dinosaurs in general, yo. Like I thought that they looked great, except for Blue at the end of the movie. I don't know why Blue at the end of the movie really looked weird to me when she was reunited with Beta. But outside of that, the CG was great. As for cons, yeah, I would say I could have gotten a little bit more from Dotson. I definitely thought that he was going to kill Ramsey, and when he didn't, I was a little shocked. Like I just knew he was dead. I was like, oh, he's about to shoot him, and then he didn't. But yeah, Dotson. I would say what else cons? I don't know. I had a great time. It was probably just Dotson, yeah.
That's fair.
I don't really got much.
That's
I
fair.
do want to
Hey,
change
that's
one of
good.
my cons. I think Blue wasn't in the movie enough.
Okay.
Interesting.
Super Bro Corey.
So yeah, I would say it's easy for me. One, they fixed the Grant to Ellie story and made me appreciate Jurassic Park 3 more. 2, I got my weaponized dinosaurs, which I've been looking for, and that's something that I truly enjoyed. So
you really like the Atrociraptors?
Oh yeah, that was fantastic.
That
was cool.
And then obviously the cast being all together, the legacy and the original crew, I thought they melded really well. I thought it was great to see both Alan and his knowledge of raptors, as well as Brady's Grady's with his knowledge of training raptors and everything like that. So I really enjoyed seeing them kind of get together. I would say cons wise, I would have loved to see again more from Dotson. I wish it was the original actor who played Dotson personally.
That'd be dope.
And then I would say other stuff would be just the minimum parts, could have been a little bit longer. Sure. I know you've talked about this, Trey, about a potential director's cut type thing that I'll let you talk about more. And then I would say 3, I think I almost, so I was worried about that too, about Blue not being in the movie too much, because I love the Raptors, but I think the weaponized dinosaurs, those weaponized Raptors, that was the perfect fit for me. But yes, Trey, you're blowing it. That was my 3rd thing. I would have loved to see if, Alan Grant brought that along with, or, paid some homage to it,
Yeah.
But overall,
Trey, we talked about that yesterday too.
I thought they had really great Easter eggs in there. I loved the fact that Dotson was destroyed by Dilophosaurus. Trey, did I get one right?
You did. Congratulations, sir.
Yeah. So I
did you know they
was...
never really did have the lizard frill?
Oh, that kind of pisses me off a little bit, But I'm glad that they kept that lizard thing, because we used to do that as kids. That sissing part, and
he dropped the Barbasol can.
He dropped the Barbasol can. That was going to be my next point. I love that. So to me, I think this movie, while it was great, it was a perfect way to end it. I think they did a really great job of sprinkling hints that there's a possibility that Jurassic Park or Jurassic World may be at a close for now, but that Barbasol can is out there still. There's things, dinosaurs still roaming. There's things that can still happen out there. So life finds a way. Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, Jurassic Next may find a way.
Is somebody gonna go back for that can?
Exactly.
Not that it would matter anymore, because the refrigerating thing is already expired in there, but I did think that was a really cool Easter egg. Sarah saw me and I practically jumped out of my seat when I saw that. I was like, oh, he kept
so
it.
excited.
But what's interesting about it is because we know Dennis Nedry didn't make it off the island of Isla Nublar. So how did he get the can? We see the can in season 5 Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous trailer. So maybe Dotson is in that. So maybe we will get some backstory on him about how he gets the can, because that was very interesting. For me, for pros, the dinosaurs. I have to make that number one, because seeing the Pyroraptor, you know, the dinosaurs with the feathers, the Therizinosaurus, like dinosaurs we've never seen before in Jurassic World, the Quetzalcoatlus.
Which one was the Pyroraptor? Or
the Pyroraptor was the red feathered one that went into the water.
My God. Hey, that terrified
insane, bro.
all the children that was in the theater.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, it was a very cool dinosaur. It almost made you like, damn, I want more of this.
Sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, you're good, bro. As everyone has said, seeing the legacy cast together, right? Like the fact that they fixed the relationship between Ellie and Alan, like you nailed it for me. Like I needed to see that. It was important to me to fix that wrong, because it's always been a major issue for me for the Jurassic. Like it hasn't tarnished my love for the Jurassic Park franchise, but it tarnished my love for Jurassic Park 3 a little bit. And I do like Jurassic Park 3. It just, I mean, I think in my score, I said a 6.9 for Jurassic Park 3. Now that I know where the relationship ends up, it's in the C's now, you know, it bumped up the score. But in terms of another pro, I think overall they handled the story in a very interesting direction, and that because it was the most ambitious, it was something we never seen before. So I give them a lot of props and credit to that, because I can honestly say this is a film that, you know, Jurassic Park has never really done. So something new. I appreciate that. Cons. Definitely the biggest con to me is the fact that Dotson was not utilized more. I think he totally should have killed Ramsey. I think he should have become psychotic. He had tendencies that made him quirks that made him so interesting as a villain that I was like waiting for him to blow up, to lose it, to just crack.
Right, like
and it never happened.
They didn't push him over the edge of being the psychotic villain.
Which is why I thought when Ramsey, you know, betrayed him, that was the moment. So that was the moment. Like if he would have used the Barbasol can to beat his head in, sign me up. You know, like that would have been a great scene, I think, almost. Or the amber, you know, bashing into his head.
He was shoot him. I was like, oh,
right, me too.
I'll take that too if he wants to shoot him, you know, or maybe have the dinosaurs eat him, you know, make a Dilophosaurus eat him, you know. But so I wish they would have used him more, and I wish there was more planning to make him kind of the behind the scenes villain from Jurassic World 1, Jurassic World 2 to now finally seeing him in this. So I think lack of planning for Dotson to always kind of be there, I think was a mistake. And for another con, I think there was some editing issue, some clips to where I feel like there were scenes that were longer, some dialogue that were longer that was missing. And I want them to restore that. I think the prologue needs to be back into this film, for an example. While there was no dialogue in there, it made sense to have a mirrored ending with the T-Rex, you know, as they zoom up on Rexy's eye after the Giganosaurus is whooped up on her again. And then she wakes up. That was basically a foreshadowing from the first prologue that we saw many months before, you know, during the Fast and Furious 9 film, hun? Was that when the trailer came out for prologue, the Jurassic World prologue?
Mission Impossible, right?
No, I think it was Fast Furious 9. I don't think, because Mission Impossible hasn't come out. We haven't had a Mission Impossible film in a while, have we?
No, I think you're right. I think it was Fast 9.
I think it was like Fast 9 IMAX. You would get the trailer, or at least the prologue.
In IMAX, because I remember when I saw that prologue, like it blew me away. Like it was absolutely blew me away. I didn't remember that it was for Fast though. It probably was. Matter of fact, it was. You guys are right. Okay.
Yeah, I remember you wanted to get there super early to make sure that we caught it.
Right. Yeah. So Corey, let's go to our next slide real quick. This is something that I want to talk to. So I was getting into the cons. What would I change? Here was one of my other biggest issues with Jurassic World Dominion. I think it was wrong for them to use Charlotte Lockwood as the final words of the Jurassic era franchise. I think she shouldn't have been the last ending speech. In Fallen Kingdom, we got Jeff Goldblum saying something, and I think what they should have done, rather than Charlotte, a character we've never seen before and really don't have any connection to, and kind of isn't the face of the Jurassic era. I think when Alan Grant and Ellie Sattler go into that hearing at, the Capitol to talk about Biosyn and everything, they should have cut to that scene of Alan Grant, Jeff, Dr. Malcolm, and Ellie Sattler doing a speech all together, cutting back to forth and showing those clips of what's going on in the world with coexisting with dinosaurs, and to coming to a great summary and, I guess you could say metaphorical, philosophical speech about, life finds a way or something like that. Something that really, for the fans, here it is. This is the end of the franchise, right? Epic conclusion. Here's the cast that started it, and they're going to finish it. I think that would have been a better ending than having a character that we haven't ever really seen before give the final speech.
Right, like somebody that we have no connection to.
It would have been cool. I think it would have been cooler if you want to make another criticism there. It would have been cooler if they used maybe lines from everybody who was a part of the franchise. So having a John Hammond quote in there, having an Alan Grant say something, and in that way, it probably would have meant a little bit more than just some, rando. But I don't know if I put that much notice into that as well. But now that we talk about it, I did.
Yeah. And obviously we've kind of talked about other changes where I said I would have made the Giganotosaurus a little bit more of a the hunting villain, the one pursuing the humans once they get to the Biosyn Valley, and to lead up that battle between the T-Rex and the Giganotosaurus at the end, to make it have a better flow. Like we were kind of expecting it in Jurassic World, right? That at some point Rexy was going to go up against the Indominus Rex. It was going to be the old era versus the new era of dinosaurs. In this case, it was Apex versus Apex. And it almost felt like they made a purpose for the Rexy to be in the battle with the Indominus, right? Like she was there to save the day. She was there to stop the Indominus from killing the humans. In this case, this was literally like, I'm the biggest dog of this hill. No, I'm the biggest dog of this hill. And I felt like it was almost forgotten about. Like Colin Trevorrow went like, oh shit, like every Jurassic World film has to end in a big giant battle. Here it is. Right. I would have liked to have seen a more smooth transition into that to kind of show maybe the Giganotosaurus is there waiting for them, pursuing the humans and is going to stop them from getting to that plane. And then Rexy shows up to save the day. I think that would have been better personally.
I'm agreeing with you there, I think.
I think another thing that they should have changed is this is the Jurassic World franchise, right? Who's one of the most beloved characters in the Jurassic World franchise, would you say, in terms of a dinosaur? We know Rexy's one of them. Who would you say is probably the next most popular dinosaur character?
Blue.
Would you say Blue? I felt like it was a huge mistake not to have Blue more involved in this film. To me, it would have made sense to have Blue come along with Owen.
How are you going to get that one done? You're going to knock him out and have Owen carry his ass around?
No. Literally, like who would be able to find Beta because she knows her scent? I think it would have been great to I know it would have been almost comical, but in a sense, Blue and Owen had a more of a connection than people realize. Blue was able to understand some of Owen's commands, and I think Blue would have gone along with it. Right. I'm not saying like sitting in the back seat, but putting in a cage, going on the plane to go find them. And I think it would have been great to have seen a scene. Sarah and I were talking about this in terms of a story arc for Blue, is that if the Atrociraptors attacked, everyone, we had that great scene. I think Blue should have fought Ghost, who is the head Atrociraptor, the albino looking one, had a fight with that one, wins the battle and becomes the new alpha of that pack, to where now you have Blue. She's kind of getting back to what she lost in Jurassic World.
How are you going to bring Blue back though?
What do you mean?
How so I thought it was cool still that Blue and Baby Blue is kind of watching over them still, and
it was very sweet that they did that. Yeah.
So if he took them to the island, there's no way he's coming back with them.
Well, I mean, exactly. I think Blue stays there where she's safe because Biocin's Valley became a safe haven now for dinosaurs. It became a no human territory. So therefore, Blue never has to worry again.
And I think Blue will eventually make it there. I think all dinosaurs will eventually make it there. The government will have some type of cleanup crew that transports all these, tranquilizes, and sends them over. But yeah,
absolutely. So that's some of my ideas and I think they should have changed some of the editing of when certain events happens. Like, I think it would have been smart to, after they did the whole like summary of what happened in the Jurassic World franchise, to then start with Ellie Sattler and the locust to show this is the new problem of the Jurassic, era, is the locust and stuff like that. And then kind of have more of a consistent story rather than so much back and forth of where we're going, to where it felt kind of jagged in some editing cuts. But other than that, I still really liked this film. It did leave me wanting more, and kind of sad that this could be the last film in a while. But all in all, I still really, really liked the film. And I think Kubi Malik even asked here, what's our rating, guys? So if you had to give it a rating, we do it from 1 to 10, 10 being the best, no rookie scores, unless if you truly feel like it's a solid score of something. But Sarah, Wonder Wife, we've now seen it twice. What's your score?
I think I'd probably go an 8.6.
Ooh, definitely improved then, because weren't you at like an 8.3 when we first?
I think the last time I was at an 8.2, and now it's closer to an 8.6. I mean,
is that because of our conversation, or because you saw it the second time and you're like, I like it
more? A little bit of both.
Okay. Skywalker the Jedi, how about you?
I usually do like 1 through 10. I would say it's an 8 for me. I really enjoyed it quite a bit. I thought that it was lacking in a few areas, but overall I had a great time and I felt like it gave me a little bit of everything. So
great. Super Bro Corey, how about you? What's your rating?
It's tough. It's very tough. I ended up going. I'm going to stick with my score that I've been thinking of. Jurassic World Dominion came in as my third favorite Jurassic series movie, so I gave it a 9.3.
A 9.3?
Oh yeah.
I was not expecting that. I was expecting you to be.
I almost gave it a 9. I almost did. I really almost did, but yeah.
What stopped you from giving it a 9? Like, what was like one thing like I just can't give it a 9 because of this specific reason?
Honestly, because of the lack of Dotson's kind of like motivations, I really did want a bit more of that. And I also really didn't like the Kayla character either. I'm not gonna say,
why out of curiosity?
Nah, just I didn't, I felt like she played her part as in, she is the pilot, obviously, right? They needed somebody there, to kind of move them to and fro, right? But at the same time, I just think her writing wasn't the best, and I just wasn't really vibing with her character too much. So,
okay,
yeah. No, I hear you there, and that makes sense for sure. I think for me, the reason why I ranked it so high is because this is the first time we've seen the original JP cast, and I thought it was from the original movie from '93. So literally a long time ago, almost 30 years ago. You get the new crew that I've come to know and love as well in there together. And again, one of the highlights for me was that they fixed the Ellie Grant situation. So Love
Okay.
that. I got my raptor, right? I got my weaponized raptor. So for me, it met a lot of what I've been waiting for. So it moved into my number 3rd slot as far as the series go, and so I'm sticking with the 9.3 for sure.
That's pretty good.
Mhm.
I'm honestly surprised Corey gave it a 9.3.
That raptor chase was so dope.
Right, man. Oh, I loved it.
Oh,
After
man.
you point the laser at them, and then they already know. They just like, oh my god, right? And they all just instantly scatter, and it's just start getting taken out immediately. And it's like, yo, those things just kept coming and coming and coming, and it was just like, man, it just really gave me vibes from that damn T2 chase. It really did.
Yeah, and I guess let me say this too. I think overall, while I was sad that this was a movie that I couldn't see with you, Trey, there was, and to be honest, I mean, where I'm living now, the movie theater is extremely small. We don't have an AMC movie theater here. The town's small. We only have, I think, 4 movies showing right now, and that's it. So they're showing Top Gun, Strange, and Lost World, and Maverick. Did I say Maverick?
Did you say they're showing the Lost World of Jurassic Park?
No, I'm sorry. They're showing Jurassic World Dominion as well.
I was gonna say, big fella, if we're going, to help you move, I'm seeing that.
They did have the classic one up recently too, so that's why I did say that. So they were showing all the classics in there too, kind of replays, which is really cool at this theater. But again, this theater only held and I went and saw in their Arc Dolby experience, which is still a neat experience, but it's very small. It was a theater that only held 35, 40 people, if that. So super small theater. It was jam packed, but I think the thing that also meant a lot to me too was the amount of kids that were in this movie theater as well. And I remember standing in line to purchase my ticket in the theater, and there was this family that it was 2 parents, probably a little older than me, and then a kid that looked like he was probably like 4 or 5 years old. Yeah. And I looked down and I'm like, oh man, you ready to see some dinosaurs? Because he was all kitted out. He had the dinosaur backpack of a Triceratops, and he had a T-Rex, a stuffed animal that he was carrying in. And she's like, yeah, the mom said, yeah, we're bad parents. We let him watch it. I was like, no, I absolutely love it because, it reminded me of the story of, for me, my first experience with Jurassic Park. The only way I saw Jurassic Park 1993 was mom playing the movie, stopping it at the scary scene because Steven Spielberg ruined it for all of us young kids and said, parents, do not let your kids watch this movie. So she'd fast forward during the scary part. And the only thing I could hope for was she, timed it wrong and we got to see a little bit of the T-Rex. And then you came along, Trey, and she let you watch the whole damn
she
movie,
just gave up. She's like, I'm not going to waste this time.
Right when you were there. So for me, it was kind of sentimental in that way too. So it was a great movie experience overall too. It reminded me of you as a kid growing up, being so in love with dinosaurs and everything like that too. So for me, I thought it was a great conclusion. Yeah, I truly enjoyed it.
Very cool. Sorry, go ahead, Skywalker. You were going to say something?
No, I was going to say, it's crazy because I had almost pretty much the opposite experience as Corey. I saw it at the Chinese theater, which is where I go see all my IMAX movies at.
Nice.
So it's 1,000 people. It was super packed, but it was the same thing where it's there was so many kids in there, and just seeing how excited that they were and how scared that they were getting, it was just super dope. But to just really be able to experience that in that grand scale, it really was special. So shout out to Colin Trevorrow, yo.
Amen.
Nice.
It's always good seeing you, Retro Nerd Girl. Guys, I always say if you haven't subscribed to Retro Nerd Girl's channel, you need to. She's phenomenal. She has a wonderful review channel. And I always say this story, but when I didn't even know she knew of our community, and when I saw her pop up one day on the comments, I was like, oh my God, like, he's such a huge fan of Retro Nerd Girl. So please subscribe to her channel and subscribe to the Skywalker the Jedi if you haven't. He's the best, right? Who doesn't love Skywalker? For me, with Jurassic World Dominion, Sarah knew the first time I watched it, I was disappointed. I was a little not heartbroken. I was heartbroken for one reason, and it was my own fault. And that's because I was expecting to feel the same emotions that I did with Jurassic Park and Jurassic World, where I was like, that's a masterpiece film. Jurassic Park, I say, is like, it's cinema, like the best film ever made, 9.99999. Like, you can't get a better score than that for me. And I was wanting to see that kind of film. So I was like expecting to see just no problems, no errors, no story, plot holes or anything like that. Nothing that would conflict with previous films. And I did see a few issues. While that being said, I still really enjoyed it. I loved seeing the legacy cast. I'm so glad they fixed the Alan Grant and the Ellie Sattler situation. Seeing all the dinosaurs, all the different types of dinosaurs that we've never seen before in Jurassic World. As a dinosaur nut, that made me extremely happy. The first time I watched it, though, I had a negative impression. Not so bad, but like, it was just like, oh man, this is the final film, and I'm not satisfied. So like, originally I probably would have said 8-1. I think I was honestly probably at an 8-1. The second time we watched it, I don't like saying my expectations were fixed, but I now knew the story they were going to tell. I now was able to pay attention to the story they wanted to tell rather than what I built in my mind would be the perfect story. And after seeing it again, catching some Easter eggs, there were some Easter eggs with, a reference to the Lost World with, the leaf that had blood on it, kind of what we saw with Julianne Moore's character. Some references to former lines that Jeff Goldblum has said, look at you, that was clearly from the Lost World. Obviously the Velociraptor resonating chamber from Jurassic Park 3 was so cool to see. We actually heard about Isla Sorna for the first time in the Jurassic World franchise, which that was awesome. I wish we would have got a Spinosaurus cameo somewhere, or at least heard about it, but I understand that would have been just like another like gigantic thing to add to it. But overall, as a dinosaur fan, as a Jurassic World fan, the second time really did it for me. So I want to put it, I feel like it's kind of at Lost World numbers for me, and people are probably surprised about where I get Lost World. I think I may give it 1 point above Lost World. I think I gave Lost World an 8.7. So I'm going to give this an 8.8.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. That's awesome, Trey. And the funny story about that is I also ranked Lost World extremely high. And I actually gave Jurassic World Dominion. Oh, right. I gave it 2 points higher than that. So that's funny, Trey. I ranked Lost World at 9.1.
A Lost World at 9.1. If you do the Cretaceous cut where they added some additional deleted scenes, oh yeah, Lost World is a great film. I literally have one issue with the Lost World film, and that's simply because we don't know what happened on the ship transporting the T-Rex. There was bodies all over there. We can make the reference that was a Velociraptor, but no one knows that wasn't explained.
There's no evidence, right?
I'm a little biased to that movie because Velociraptors are my favorite dinosaur, so it's pretty much jam packed. But the other aspect that I like is my teacher or a really good friend of mine specifically actually built the hunting rifle for the guy who's trying to hunt the T-Rex. He was one of my machine teachers, and he built that double barrel rifle. So it's another cool aspect for me. So it's nice. It's sweet.
Yeah. Well, that's really cool. Out of curiosity, guys, Colin Trevorrow has said Partly the prologue was taken out because of time constraints. He's also talked about numerous other scenes taken out, like there's a scene with an oviraptor, which would have been really cool. And I'm assuming there's also some other deleted scenes with some great dialogue between some of the legacy characters as well. Would you guys be interested in seeing the Trevorrow cut of Jurassic World Dominion?
Always.
Hell yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so you guys are hashtag release the Trevorrow cut.
We release the Trevorrow cut. Hey, yo, and you know what? All other fandoms, you guys are welcome that we gave you guys this blueprint. You know what I'm saying? That you can all take and go use now, right? And you just might get what you want. So you're welcome. But yeah,
exactly right.
The Trevorrow cut.
Hey man, I'm game for it, and it sounds like they are going to release probably on DVD like an ultimate cut of Jurassic World Dominion. So and for me, I mean, they apparently shot like 6 hours worth of footage, according to Sam Neill, which is, I mean, every assembly cut is like 4 to 5 hours, but the fact that it was 6 hours, holy shit, there's a lot of footage that we missed here. So you guys would all be down to see a 3-hour cut of Jurassic World Dominion?
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, me too. I'm personally excited to see that whenever it comes out, you know, because I'll definitely, you know what? And I bet when that cut comes out, even if they added the prologue, and that was all I got, instantly that whole film gets a 9.1 for me.
Right.
Because the prologue was some of the greatest. I mean, it was like watching Prehistoric Planet, and I think Prehistoric Planet is a brilliant dinosaur documentary. If you guys haven't seen it on Apple TV Plus, you know, Corey, what are people saying? Are they down to see release the Trevorrow cut?
First, I'll jump off here. Eric Patterson gave it an 8.5. Bat Fanatic gave it an 8.4. Trevor H gave it an 8.9. Or excuse me, Bat Fanatic gave it an 8.7. Our hashtag restore the Snyderverse guy says 8.1. Koopy Malik hasn't seen it, so he's now even more curious to watch it. So I totally think you should. Cool. This is one of those movies that I agree with, like a Top Gun Maverick scenario, where it's better to see your first time seeing this movie needs to be in the movie theater. You need to get that big screen, that nice, great sound that you get from a movie theater. 8.9 from Oracle's Clock Tower. So some really good scores from it. But as far as Jason Kelly's in the chat, what's up, Jason?
Jason Kelly, guys, if you haven't subscribed to Zero Landis, he's doing some really cool Halo series stuff there. Definitely check it out. Great channel.
We talked about this a little bit earlier, but Camp Cretaceous is in between Jurassic World and Fallen Kingdom. And then people are saying, Trevor H says, that's crazy. Restore or release the Trevorrow cut. And then Retro Nerd Girl says, Zach is the blueprint. Absolutely. Release the extended cut. Yep, everybody's saying release the Trevorrow cut. So we're going to start trending here soon.
Hey, man, I think we should. I think we should start coining it as hashtag release the Trevorrow cut, because why the hell not? I'm excited to see it. And I agree. Director's cuts are always better. I always hate the excuse of, you know, having to cut down a film because of time, you know, so that there's more theater showings. I understand it from a business perspective, but I always prefer better story than business stuff.
Right? Like, look at The Godfather.
No, I agree. Batman says an 8.8 for Jurassic World Dominion. That's not bad. What up, Jesse Allen? It's good to see you, man. So it sounds like for the most part, everyone enjoyed Jurassic World Dominion. So let's kind of end this up with Jurassic World Dominion as we kind of put in our YouTube title for this show. Are the Rotten Tomato critics full of shit?
Always.
They did rank Top Gun Maverick 9.7, critic score and a 9.9 fan score, so they got that one right.
Well,
maybe they're still wrong.
I would give that movie a 10.
Oh, you're right, Sarah.
Right.
Here's what Rotten Tomatoes is currently saying for Jurassic World Dominion. The audience score is a 78%, which I would say is fair. That for the most part, people are enjoying the film. The critics are saying it's a 30%. Is this a 30% film to you guys?
No.
So why would anyone are they on crack? Like why would anyone give this film a 30%?
It's Chris Pratt, yo. You know, I mean, you got a lot of people that are kind of iffy on him right now for reasons like outside of just his acting, right?
Fair.
And I think that, you know, this was kind of like the first opportunity that they've had to kind of jump on him in one of his like big theatrical projects. He's pretty much been on streaming lately, right? Which their words have a much smaller impact with streaming projects, right? Versus theatrical. That's all that I've been hearing is how everybody is hearing that this movie is terrible, and it has even kind of stopped some of my friends from seeing it. But I've been telling them to go check it out. So, you know, Rotten Tomatoes is what it is, man. Ever since BVS, yo, I've been kind of off of them, and then you know they've since kind of showed where they stand, and it's like, okay, you know, I'm not gonna always listen to them.
Yeah, I think that's.
You know me, I always want to form my own opinion.
Yeah, and that's what I would tell you guys too. Whether you're watching our show, trying to decide, if you watched our non-spoiler review, trying to decide to see Jurassic World Dominion, go see it. If you're curious, go see it. If there's even a shred of curiosity, go see the film and inform your own opinion, and then listen to somebody tell you what you should think about it. If you just want to hear a different opinion, if you're curious, go see the film. And it's definitely worth seeing in theater. Don't wait for a DVD, because unless if you have a home theater system and you can really enjoy the rumble.
But even then, man, it's not
it's still not
the same. A full theater like in your house to be able to get that same film. And you know, seeing this movie in IMAX was like crazy. So if anybody is kind of on the edge, I would definitely go check it out in your local theater.
I totally agree, 100%, guys. If you haven't seen Jurassic World Dominion, go see it. Don't listen to the haters. Don't listen to the people who are absolutely going bazonkas about it. Make your own opinion. Decide if it's a worthy, epic conclusion of the Jurassic World franchise. Me personally, I want more. I can't wait for season 5 of Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous. I think it's just going to be a really crazy season that maybe will give us some more information about Lewis Dotson. So I'm curious to see where they go with that, because like I said, we do see the Barbasol can that somehow Lewis Dotson ends up with. So guys, if you haven't already, smash that like, share this video, subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell so you guys can continue to watch our shows. And don't forget, this Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern, we are going to be doing our episode 5 Obi-Wan Kenobi review. Hello there. With hashtag Delta Squad, we're going to be having Orc and Beans 14 and the Savage Bat joining us as always to talk about the new episode of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Sarah and I hopefully will have time to watch it tomorrow sometime to get prepared for the show Saturday. Because Saturday is going to be a crazy day, because then we're joining Sil later that day on Force Sensitive for his stream talking about Star Wars. But definitely smash that like, share this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell so you guys never miss our episodes. We appreciate so much for you guys coming out. Before we end the show, though, is there anything you guys want to add? Any ending things? Skywalker, give your show a shout out. Let us know what you got going on.
Hey, yo, just be on the lookout. I usually stream on Sundays. I have my latest episode up from my new interview series, OG Talk with Skywalker the Jedi, where I interviewed Cut Hamad from Twitter. And just be on the lookout, because I'm locking in some more of those pretty soon that I think is going to be very exciting for the community. But go check out my live streams. They get kind of spicy sometimes. I'm a real big Zack Snyder, Restore the Snyderverse guy, and it brings out the passion in me. I will say that, but yeah, check me out, and I'll see you guys over there.
Man, you're doing great stuff over there, Skywalker. I truly enjoy your live streams, as well as OG talk and everything like that, man. It's always a good time for sure.
Yeah. That last stream got pretty spicy. You guys should check that out if you haven't already.
Yeah.
It got a little crazy.
Yeah.
And you know what? Man. That's why I love Skywalker's show, is because it's never bullshit. He says exactly what's on his mind. And not every YouTuber does that, so I respect when someone does. Whether I agree with it now, 99, and honestly, probably 100% of the time, I normally agree with, Skywalker. I don't think there's one thing we've had a disagreement on, maybe other than tonight with Jurassic World Dominion.
Right.
That's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
But guys, thank you so much. Wonder Wife, is there anything that you want to say before we end tonight?
Nope, I think we said it all.
Super Bro Corey, got to roll out the red carpet for you, sir.
No, sir, we're looking good. Go watch Jurassic World Dominion now.
Yes. And it was great that I finally got to be on a panel with Wonder Wife Sara. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
Yeah,
that's what it's all about nowadays. It's all about the Wonder Wife.
Yeah, absolutely.
You made it, Skywalker. I tell you.
I can finally die a happy man now.
Excellent.
That's when you know you've made it big, is when you get to do a panel show. I mean, hell, when I get to do a panel show with Wonder Wife, that's what I do. I made it big, She's
sometimes I wish this was just the Wonder Wife channel.
She with you?
I thought she was with you.
Honey, thank you so much for doing these shows with us. I know you're tired after a long day of work.
Right, I've graced you with my presence.
This is why you're the best.
Gotta call out them betas, though.
Yeah, call out them betas. He's a beta hunter. Guys,
that word beta, right? Oh my god!
Right. Triggered alert. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. We hope you enjoyed the show. What's up?
You better believe, though, Trey, when we see them betas, we're gonna put that red laser at your ass.
Poke that red laser. We're gonna send the Atrociraptors on you. Boom. There, watch betas in that stream.
Skywalker's gonna be all over them.
Oh man. Well, guys, it was an absolute blast to talk about one of my favorite, franchises in film history. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. I am your host, Trey, with
Super Bro Corey
and
Skywalker the Jedi.
And
Wonder Wife Sara.
And don't forget to tune in weekly.
Same bat time.
Same bat channel.
See you later, guys. Have a good night.
Have a good night, everyone. Bye.